What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. This is a late night conversation, but so many things had happened today that I have to bring it up. So, if you don't know me, you don't know my channel, Ericka Williams, six-figure YouTuber. I've been on YouTube for several years now. Author of the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Real Estate, and Businesses from the Palm of Your Hand. You can grab it on Amazon. You can grab it wherever. The link's below. Now, listen, I got to do this video because so many people all week long have been like, Ericka, what's your thoughts on the college scandal? And I've shared my video, I shared my thoughts on it. And during the whole time I've been at South by Southwest, the funniest part is we've all been talking about it, talking about the crowds, talking about these people don't care. A lot of these people went to particular schools only because they could connect with a friend who could connect them to Google, connected them to a friend who could get them their foot in the door at a tech job, connect them with a friend who could hook them up. Now, I come on this channel and, everybody drop a like, hit the like button. I know it's late, maybe not that many people come in, drop your city and state, but here's what I'm trying to get you expressed to you. This is not new. Like when I bring on people, when I went to East Carolina University, there were Black people there who were second and third generation being there. Their parents were some of the first Black people that ever went there. And they came out of DC and Virginia. So there's a thing of generational to do people who legacy, whatever you want to call them. Same thing, NC State. We had several family members play football at NC State. So any family member after my cousins who are like 20 years older than me at this point, we could have went there. Discount prices. Now, what I'm trying to express to y'all is, I did the video on the cheeses moved. I talked about all these things, but when I went to the Grant Garden on 10X, I could see around the room that some people really got it and some people didn't. Now, what do I mean? I've worked with several clients who we were just working to get them business lines of credit so that they could do just one thing. Now, you've seen Max Maxwell and you've seen all these guys. You think Max is driving for dollars? You think Max is doing all the phone calls? You think Max and his other two business partners are doing all that? No. They have staff. Right now, what they're learning to do is manage people. I'm turning over new systems so that I can do what? Let someone else do it so I can manage more people and then roll out more ads. And what seems to be the problem is we don't understand that we are not in a position of dominating. We're not in a position of opening things. Now, what I've learned on this channel is not everybody wants to start a business, and that's absolutely fine. But what you're going to understand is if you don't own anything, in this next recession, you will be wiped out. Now, what do I mean? You'll still have your house. You'll still have your job. You'll probably still have your house, but you will never get ahead financially. You just won't. You just won't. I've done over 230 phone calls with truckers. Why? Because I know as the economy slows down, some of these guys who retired, they're going to have to go back to trucking. They didn't get a different skill. They just been driving local, driving for less. They never took the time to go buy their own truck. I've seen this over and over and over. So if I could say, hey, you just come on over here with me. I've got the truck. I'll handle the maintenance. You can drive for me and make good money. The more you drive, the more we both make. It's a win. I've even had some guys go, hey, if you could help me with my credit, that'd be so great. If you could help me get ahead, that'd be so great. And I go, sure. No problem. No problem. You know why? Because I've seen this play out before. And again, people are not in a position of, they're not in a position of managing anything. They don't own anything. They don't manage anything. Prime example, when I brought on Kendra the other day, over 100 of y'all went out and got her home buying assistance book. This is grants and free money in over 22 states on how to get your home. And people say, well, I'm not a first-time home buyer. After 3 years, you qualify as a first-time home buyer again. That's not all the programs. There's all types of programs. Now, why am I telling you this? Because what's going to happen is the same thing. The same people who told me, Ericka, 8 years ago, oh, I'm going to wait till the recession to buy a house. 8 years later, they still have not bought a house because they didn't realize while all this paperwork is in and banks are flowing and they're approving people in 2 days and just bring me 2 years tax return and they're saying stamping yes. When it's on the backside, when it's in the recession, they're not stamping yes. They're going to say, bring me 3 pages, bring me 3 years tax return, bring me your bank account statements, bring your everything. What do you think this new Ultra FICO score is about? Come on now. Listen, I'm having several clients with Amex is calling them to verify their documentation. They're not just letting them state it anymore. I'm trying to get y'all up to speed. I really am. And if I could literally pull 1 million of y'all into tech, into some of these companies that are just kicking out 70, 80K, 90K. Now, you already know 90% of people hire people they know. But when they don't have enough people, they have to go out and hire who? Everybody else. What do you think is going to happen in a recession? Everybody that works at their jobs and they got friends who are struggling, they're white college frat buddies, they're Asian frat buddies. Hey, y'all go get this certification. Come on over here. I'll get you in. And you won't get in. I've seen this play out before. I know people on HR staffs. I keep telling y'all, I'm trying to give y'all game. I bring on person after person. People are like, well, I don't know about the stock market. It's at an all-time high. You can learn how to make money when the stock's going up and going down. I bring on Terry. I bring on several different people who are qualified to talk about it. And what's going to happen is you guys don't treat these things like businesses, so you don't get paid like a business. You got all these people running around with real fancy YouTube videos, 50,000, 60,000 subscribers, but who are they calling? Me with 24,000 subscribers who just got that. Help me set this up so I can get some money. If not, I'm gonna have to go get a job because I'm spending 5 and 6 hours a day working on my YouTube videos and I ain't getting paid. Look at the fitness industry. Only guys that are still rolling are fitness guys who have what? Supplement companies, t-shirt companies. There are several YouTubers. If you pay attention to them, all of a sudden they want to sell t-shirts. They want to sell clothing. They want to sell fitness gear. They want to sell this and that. Why? Because they ain't making no money. That ad apocalypse took them out. They're not making no money. So I'm sitting here talking to people. What's their thoughts on the college scam? And overwhelmingly, people were just like, so, oh, you know, everybody did something to get into school. So what? So every tech room, nobody cared. Half those people in tech quit. They didn't even finish college. When I went to ECU, there were guys who joined certain fraternities. Everybody in that fraternity worked at a bank, no matter their major, because they had a hookup. I remember this one black guy in this white fraternity. He was leaving to go to New York to go walk on Wall Street. I said, how? Somebody gave him the hookup. You go to college for connections. You don't go to college necessarily for the degrees. These people sending their daughters to these really prestigious colleges are trying to get hopefully their daughter gets married to some engineer, some guy who's going to be a future CEO, some guy who's really smart, going to take care of her. That is what these people are doing. To this day, I know people sending their daughter to a particular school because engineers go there. Her daughter's kind of nerdy. So this is the best place she's going to get in at. Now, I laughed. But again, this is thinking ahead. This is thinking long term. This is thinking, you know, come on, use your brain. You know, the whole Olivia thing, I was getting ready to show her a picture and stuff. I'm telling y'all, these are blue light glasses. So I don't need them. I have a contacts on. But when you look at computers all day and phones all day, you will wear your eyes out. Okay, your prescriptions will keep going up and up. That's why you have so many people with glasses now. But what I tell you, people go there. Prime example, Donald Trump's daughter, the one y'all never hear about, Tiffany, okay, the one whose mama was like a Playboy bunny or something kind of trash. She married her real quick, Merkel, whatever her mama name was. You don't ever hear about her, but guess what? She went to college. Now, this girl looked dumber than a bag of rocks, but she went to a prestigious college and she got to do an internship because Ivanka, her older sister, got her in the door. All these girls out here trying to get this internship. But she gives it to her sister, who's dumber than a bag of rocks, who probably needed an assistant to help her even do the internship. Listen to me, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I remember girls going to grad school so they could get a husband who was going to be a doctor. I remember this girl marrying this guy. He was ugly, but he was going to be a doctor. She was pregnant in his second year of med school, like literally got married. Then it was pregnant before you even knew it. I remember seeing this guy looking like death warmed over, doing all those rotations and got a brand new house in Raleigh. Really, they were near the medical school. But anyway, point of the story is He looked like death warmed over because he was exhausted. He said there were 2 little babies, a girl who ain't never going back to work, and he was trying to be a doctor. Listen, these people set it up, homie. They set it up. Are you setting your kids up? Now, right now, I'll give y'all a little scoop. My little nephew loves trucks, can deconstruct a truck. He's been riding with my family members who are truckers. He knows everything about trucks. When I went to go get these trucks, he knew more about the trucks than I did. I faxed him the invoice and he's 11 going on 12. These kids have talent and skills. So what do you think about this, Jalen? What do you think about this truck? Oh, this is good. Listen to this, look at this, look at this. Again, listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. This kid is 12. You think I'm getting these trucks for no reason? You think I'm not setting something up for him in the future to run? That I already have a manager that I'm gonna send off to college, help my family pay for him to go to a really prestigious college so that he can turn around and manage these trucks? Come on now, y'all, do the math. Do the math. Think hard. Think real hard. Okay? What people are not understanding is when I come on here, everybody's like, well, I'm gonna wait till the recession. Now I'm gonna show you this. Let me think if I share it right quick. Let me share this. So I pulled up some things so I could show y'all what I was talking about to give you an idea. Because people are like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the recession, Ericka. You don't even know. And I see you said this same shit 8 years ago. So I know you're not telling the truth. So keep it moving. All right, now here's this. Y'all be able to see this. Y'all should be able to see this. This is 2008. This was the first crash. Now it cycles. This is gonna go for real estate. This is gonna go for business. This is an ugly shape, but you know what I'm trying to tell you. 2008. Well, if it fell exactly, looking at 7 years, which is the cyclical returns for recessions, 7 or 8 years, we would have had a crash in 2015, 2016. Right? Correct? Am I correct? Am I correct? Now, what happened in that time? Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. Okay, so we didn't have a crash. All right, and even during Obama, if you look at it, it was going like this. Let me see if it'll let me do the little, I'm gonna do a pen. Give me the pen, yo. It was going like this. It was already going recovering. Okay. Now, everybody told me here, I'm gonna get a house. I'm gonna get a house. You don't get a house. Now we what? 2019. They still ain't got no house. Ericka, I'm trying to time the market. You cannot time the market. If you don't learn nothing else from me in this channel, you cannot time the market, honey. Now, when I talk to y'all about businesses and jobs and credit, everybody go, well, Ericka, I got a good job. I don't need no business. I don't need no business. Listen to me. You don't have to work in the business. Why do you think your girl is going to this credit expo? So that I can hire more people to do it. Because what you think is going to happen to people's credit? It's still going to be messed up every year. When people lose these cars, when people lose credit cards, it's still going to be messed up. They're going to still need somebody to do their credit. Because the basic education that we should be teaching in school and in college is not there. The basic financials are not there. So when I sit here and tell y'all, if you start a business and then you start looking for somebody to work for you and you say, well, Ericka, I don't got a lot of money. I'm only going to be able to pay them $10 an hour. Trust me, they going to work for $10 to $20 an hour. You're going to say, but I'm in New York. It don't matter. They going to need a job, baby. They going to need a job. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me. I'm trying to make sure you guys can hear me well. If not, I need to put my headset on. Can you hear me? So anyway, let me get out of here. Could y'all hear me during the whole talk? Okay, you can still hear me. Good. Never mind. You can hear me. But I was trying to show that because what happens is everybody say, oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Ericka. I'm waiting. No, you're not. I've heard this before. Listen to me. I've heard this before. I've heard this from several people before. And the same people, listen, there was a group of 5 of us who are all going to start YouTube channels. I'm the only one who did it. And out of those 5 people, I'm the only one with $1 million. So let's keep it a buck. I've heard this before. We're going to start it. We're going to do it. We're going to do this. No, you're not. No, you're not. So when I say, if you're going to get in, now's the time to get in. People say, oh, okay, it's a saturated market here. I've got a stack of books beside me, literally. Right here. If you're not first, you're last. Grab this old book from Grant Cardone. It's only first one. And I'm telling you, what happens is people, oh, we're gonna conserve. We're not gonna, oh, we're gonna hold on, we're gonna conserve. Only people that survived the last recession are people who marketed. People who ran ads, who marketed. When you see these little restaurants, these little mom and pop restaurants, the only people gonna survive are people who are marketing and the people in the economic moats. Now, what do I mean economic moats? Glenn and Cameron talks about it a lot, but you'll see it. You'll see where they'll have neighborhoods where just that neighborhood does well. Just that neighborhood. Nobody else's neighborhood, just that neighborhood. All of a sudden you'll be looking like, what's going on? Well, just places are closing. Places are closing. Places are closing. Again, not literally a million exactly off of YouTube. It's been from products, services, buying things together, buying real estate together, investing with other people. Literally from 5 years ago to now, it's several different steps in the process. Several different steps in the process. But what I'm trying to get you to see, I was focused. I was hammering. I was like, we're going here. I didn't think, oh, if I do credit repair. Bachelor's degrees, working $15 an hour, $12 an hour. If you give them the option to work maybe 1 or 2 days from home, they'll be in there. You have an office, they come in, you make them train. Listen, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me close some of these pit windows down. Let me see, let me go over here. Let me share this. Y'all know this is my favorite lady I be stalking. I'm gonna hang out with her. She just don't know. In the future, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna be friends. No. Is it back on? Am I here? Am I here? If not, it is what it is. I should be live. All right, you guys should be able to see this. Put a 1 in the comments. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so you guys, I've showed you this girl a million times. She now has an agency. Okay, she has a credit seminar link. Why? Because her friend, the Budgetnista, they all know each other. They work in groups. Hold on, y'all can't hear me. Let me put this headset on because y'all complaining about the audio. I was just trying to do a quick late night one. Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me. I got my headset on. Okay, I guess y'all can hear me. Anyway, all right. So you see this girl. I've been showing you this for a while. Look at her. Okay, she's very pretty, amazing. All this stuff, a lot of these posts are sponsored. This travel, JetBlue flew her down there. These adventures, this is in New Orleans. New Orleans sponsored it. New Orleans Travel Association. This, Japan Tourism sponsored it. These different things, these clothes you see in every vid picture, clothes sent to her. Okay, now why am I showing you this? Many of you are like, Eric, I don't care about this. But you should care. You know why you should care? Because a lot of you have cousins and nieces and nephews who out here on Instagram showing their whole body acting a fool and not getting paid. There's a method to all this. There's a method to all this. Okay? Again, just type in pre-recession videos and see what comes up. All right? Ignore this side bar because that's big IQ. But look at that. Pre-recession powder. House prices back to pre-recession levels, study shows. Look, Glennon popped up on my thing. Peter Schiff, how to profit from the next recession. New Mexico seeks to return pre-recession unemployment levels. You know why? Because people are leaving California and moving there. Dow closing on pre-recession levels. 100% recession signal always shows before the economy falls. 5 years before jobless rate. Pre-recession jobless rate, sign of stability. Now let me tell you something. When Donald Trump was running, didn't homeboy tell you, oh, it's like 20% unemployment? Hold on, let me get out of here again. Didn't he tell you there's 20% unemployment? And these Obama jobs aren't really doing that great. And oh man, it's a shadow unemployment. But as soon as he comes in, employment's there, everybody's working. Fuck. This is not true. I live in Austin, Texas, and we have all these people saying, oh, I can't find high-paying jobs. Why don't you go do some check? Why don't you go to the community college and get a tech related field? Oh, well, no, there is no oh. You live in a city that's submerged in tech. I even went and got certifications because I said, just in case this YouTube thing don't work out, I'm gonna get a job in tech, making 70. A lot of these companies want to train people because before the recession, that's when you can get your foot in the door. They need bodies. They need to train people. They're ready to get them in. You see Dell and all these places, people complain about HB1 visas, but guess what? If you had more Black and Hispanic people training in these jobs, entry level, they would hire them in the same place. So let's keep it a buck. What they're doing is training people at a lower cost. That's all that is. Let's just keep it a buck. So there's 100 of y'all in here. Salesforce is legit. Listen, I've literally brought on, I think Kamoy's coming on next week sometime, talk about technical writing. And listen, my friend, I even literally, I went over to my friend and said, tell me about technical writing. He said, oh yeah, they always hire really pretty girls, or they just hire some guy who doesn't know anything about tech. And then we get to show off our skills by telling them every step-by-step process because we don't have time to write it down. He said this as an engineer, like they're a valuable part of the team because they don't want to write it down. Technical writers. So I'll bring Kamoy on and let her talk about her course and her job. These are jobs you don't got to go to college for. These are things you can put your nieces and nephews and your sons and daughters in over during summer school where they can get internships. I'm just telling you. This is when I hear all of these Black people talking about reparations and all this other stuff, I said, listen to me. I agree. We don't pay everybody else. Why not? But here's my thing. Until they do that, you need to survive. You need to make it. You need to make income. You need to go where the jobs are. Don't complain. Because here's what people are not paying attention. I just left Home Depot earlier. I burned some food. I was mad. I had to go fix my plant. I went and go got some potting soil. I go in there. It's like a fucking ghost town. There's barely any workers in there in that giant Home Depot. I go to the register. There's one guy. 6 registers, one guy. Why? Because Home Depot has changed everything to self-checkout. Everything. Only thing where you're going to automatically have to talk to a person is customer service. They had 3 women in customer service and one guy watching 6 registers. Listen to me. All these little jobs you thought you were going to get your son in the summer, loading dirt, loading wood, they don't even have those anymore. Look at Lowe's and Home Depot. They don't really hire a bunch of boys to load stuff in your car anymore. They got a few pushing carts, but I'm telling y'all, it is changing. The cheese is moving. And why do you think I keep bringing people on this show trying to help y'all? Because I see it. I'm in a booming city and I see it. We have slow parts in our city. So imagine what's happening in other towns that aren't Austin, Texas. What I'm also seeing in Austin, Texas is a lot of stores are closing at 9 o'clock. Why? Because the people with money ain't hanging out till 12 o'clock, right? You got bars and you got clubs, but even the bars and clubs are closing at 1 and 12 now. Why? Because these engineers got to get them to go to work. These tech people, these well-to-do families. Listen, there's a place called Domain. And it is a outdoor indoor shopping place, and a lot of the restaurants are very expensive, and the actual places you shop are expensive. And on the weekend, on Saturday, all you see is Asian and Indians out at the place shopping. Everybody else is just hanging out. And I'm being for real. If I took a camera and walked around the Domain for a day, you see Asian people left and right with bags in their hands from shopping, and you see Black kids and white kids walking around as teenagers, just maybe got some ice cream, maybe got a drink, but they ain't got nothing else. They're not shopping. They're just out enjoying a walkabout. I'm telling y'all, I've seen the change. The reason I'm investing in these trucks, you see me investing in certain, real estate groups, you see me investing in different things because I know who survives. Who survived? Listen, when you go to the bank, I went to the bank the other day, and I literally came in, and this is how unprepared people are. This is how unprepared people are. I went to the bank. The banker that I was supposed to meet wasn't even there. And she said, oh, just give her my card. I said, no, I've got things to do next week. Put her on the phone. I don't care if she's on lunch or not. So they call and they say, well, they're in a meeting. I'm like, well, I'm an important client. I'm important. They put her on the phone. They go, well, just give her this. I said, listen. I've got 2 years tax returns. I've got several other businesses tax returns. I've got my personal financial statement. I've got the invoices for the new trucks. I've got this. I've got that. I got you name it. I got it. I got my P&L from a company right now. I just printed off my QuickBooks P&L right now. I got it all right here. I got about 40 pages. You need to go ahead and send it to you. Oh, well, dang, Miss Williams. Okay, I'm so sorry, Miss Williams. I'm so sorry. I am not there. Get her to scan all that to me, and I'm going to give you a call. She literally goes and scans it. I'm still in the lobby. The woman calls back, Miss Williams, you just hold on. I got this other loan officer. She's going to be on the line. We're supposed to be in a meeting right now, but we're going to get on the line with you right now, Miss Williams, and we're going to do this, and that, and all we need you to do is come back in Monday, and we're going to sign it, okay? We can get you 100%, no money down, and we're going to look at the interest rates for you. Okay, thanks. 100%, no money down, equipment loan? Yes, Miss Williams. For two trucks, 100%. Okay, well, I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully you'll be in the office on time. Yeah, oh, yes, Ms. Williams. That's why when I tell y'all that whole little bank book, I put that course together, the 1-page business plan, there's a reason I put it together. I'm showing y'all how y'all go in there. You don't go in there like, oh, I don't know what I need. What do I need? They know you're not serious. They know you don't apply for loans. They know you don't know what they're doing. So they're going to give you the yank around and tell you, oh, come back next week. No. I need to speak with the person who does loans today. I've got things to do next week. I got flights to take. Oh, okay. And this, oh, you need seasoning with this bank. Listen to me and my eyeballs. I know they glary, but right here, you don't need seasoning. If you got paperwork on paperwork, listen, I started a brand new LLC, took it in there and said, hey, this is brand new, but I got P&L for my other LLCs. You want to see those? Yes, sure. Yes, okay, well, okay. You have to come in with confidence. You have to come in with confidence. You have to come in ready, and you have to come in prepared. And the problem is many of you think, I'm going to wait till after recession. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because here's what I know. And I say this not to act like I'm better than y'all, act like I'm smarter than y'all. None of this. This is each one teach one. Okay? What's going to happen is the reason I'm making so many friends with wholesalers and investors and people who own land lots and developers. Why? When Nashville started cracking, before they said Amazon's coming that way, and when Philly started cracking, who were the first people to call me and email me? Hey, I got some land lots. Hey, I got some projects. They're freshly done, renovated. I'm selling for $126,000, Ericka. In Philly, you want to get first crack at it? Let me see. Let me look at the properties. See, send me some pictures. But if you're not, who do you think he reached out to? He probably reached out to the 100 people in his Rolodex and his email list to see who would buy that. Okay. Now, after it went through a first 100 people and other contractors he knows, then finally he might let it go on MLS. So when people tell me, I'm going to wait till after the recession, Ericka, and buy from who and buy what? You won't be buying deals. You'll be buying whatever's on realtor.com. You won't be getting deals. You will not get the lowest prices. That property that I just told y'all about, guess what is for sale now? One person already bought it. Guess what is for sale now? Take a guess what is for sale right now. Put it in the comments. He's on the phone telling me to buy it from him for $126. How much you think the other guy who bought it from him is selling it right now, is selling it for? Hop on the phone. Put a guess in the comments. I know it's 30 seconds behind, but go ahead and put a guess in there. In Philly now. In Philly. In the hood. Take a guess. My eyeballs, yeah. Looking to get into security, but I have a lot to study. Study, baby, study. Heck, check out Google's offering $49 a month. Google launched the course of Under It, You Grow Your Google initiative, offering a way for the public to get their foot in the door. IT field, exactly. I like how you pull boss moves. You got them working, yeah. This is how big money gets loans, exactly. Yeah, I mean, listen. And you know what the banker said? Well, how come your other LLCs aren't with us? I said, well, you know, Prosperity Bank and Navy Federal and this other bank's been doing me pretty well. I think we could be real competitive, Miss Williams, if you just give it a chance. This is the same lady who told me she didn't have time and I need to come back on Monday and she was about to be in a meeting. She took 30 minutes with me, who's supposed to be in the meeting. And three-way another banker who was on her lunch break to her cell phone. So miss me with this, no, miss me. Come in there with your head on, trust me. Thank you. I try to bring on good people to the show. Love your videos. Thank you. A Subway in Buckhead that closes at 5 p.m. Why? Because the only people with money is lunchtime people. Now, who are lunchtime people? I've seen this all over. Who are lunchtime people? People working. People at close offices near. They can't go too far. They want to walk to lunch. They don't want to be stuck. They don't want Uber Eats to deliver their lunch. They want to take a little walk down the street, eat. I was in Atlanta in Midtown. Midtown was booming out of control from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. But about 6:30, it started to slow down. Except for some parts that had like people like really at the happy hours. Why? Because those people drove out. They don't live there. They drove out. People that live in Midtown, very expensive. They live there. It's different. It wasn't like that 5 years ago. Everybody I talked to in Atlanta, it wasn't like that 5 years. It's still expensive to live over there. I said, yeah, and that's how they want it. So you're not there at night when they walk their dog. They want you to be far away. Far away. You know what? What happens in a recession? The cops are going to drive around now. What you doing over here? You loitering. Get out of here. Scram. They call them move along laws. They used to call them that. They don't call them that anymore. But it's when you see homeless people and vagrants and loitering. What you doing here? Show me your ID. What you doing? Eventually what happens? You stop being over there. Homeless people stop being over there. Why? Because if you're homeless and your address isn't right, now you got expired ID. Okay, that's automatic. Put you in the car, baby. If they want to push it. I'm just trying to tell y'all, you have a decision to make. Yes, a recession is coming, but where do you want to be in it? Do you want your children to have nice options? Do you want to own businesses? I keep showing y'all buy, biz, sell for a reason. A lot of these 65, 70-year-old people, they got other investments. So when they sell that business that's getting on their nerves, they don't mind selling it. It ain't life or death. They ain't got to be there no more. These people lack the conditioning to even take advantage of opportunities. You can't jump off the couch and then suddenly run a marathon. True. Troy Jackson, very true. But these are the same people who've been watching YouTube for years. The same people who've been like literally on Udemy every day looking for cheap courses. Actually sit down and take the courses. I'm not expecting people to do exactly what I did. By no means, trust me. It was a very rough fight uphill being here in Texas. But I know, I'm being careful. I know a lot of people don't go places with confidence. I'll just say it like that. A lot of people go some places like, oh, I don't know. And so I just know. Let me see. I've been a Subway near Mall of America that closes at 6 o'clock and not open on weekends. Wow. I work at a hospital and there are tons of places you get your lunch. When I get off work, those places close at 6 o'clock. Telling you, listen, you guys, when you drive, the average American only drives about 8 miles. That's why when you hear all these stories about commuting 30 minutes or 40 minutes, people are like, I'm dying in my car, because the average person does about 8 miles. They do so if you work your job here, you're only going to go about here. You're only going to drive that far away from work, and you're only going to walk to lunch so far. So you are going to see the most businesses right by where it's booming. If it's a hospital, if it's a college, listen, you've been in college towns where the college is booming and a few places around the college are booming, but you go a little further, it's the hood over there. This is what's happening at Clemson, South Carolina. All those black people are complaining, oh, they're buying up the houses and kids are moving next door and they're getting us out of here. Yeah. Where else can they get $30,000 houses that they just got to put some paint, some drywall on, get you out of there, put 2 or 3 teenagers in there who parents are going to cover them on, twice, if not 3 times the rent. Own or be owned, baby. Own or be owned. The choices are yours. Okay, so for the Philly place, y'all got some, I see y'all put some comments in. Thank you so much. 500,000, 300,000, 250,000, 2 mil. Nah, that's too high. 200,000. You guys are almost right. It was the place he bought it for almost 32,000. They put a lot of money in it. He was selling it to us for 126,000. The person who bought it turned around and she's selling it for $199,000. It's just a townhouse, y'all. It's like one of those, I'd call it a condo, but it's a townhouse. It's like that shape y'all have in Philly where it's like upstairs and then you go, yeah, $199, and it's in a hood place. It's in a hood spot. So all that person did was get it for him from 126, turn around, put it on the market for 199. They're going to get their $76,000 or so, and then they got to give some to their agent. But think about this: he couldn't hold it himself and sell it and get that extra, because he probably already walked away with 30, at least 30, 40, maybe more, probably more in profit. He couldn't hold it and wait. Why? Because these people be over leveraging themselves. They be using every credit card they got, every business line of credit they got. So they always need buyers. This is why I tell y'all this is a relationship business. Real estate, if you think you're going to come in real estate and you're going to flip houses and buy houses, from who? And I don't mean this to be a bitch. I'm really being serious. Like, from who? If you don't know anybody, if you ain't going to no real estate events, you ain't going to no conferences, you ain't got nobody in your Rolodex, you don't know no construction guys, you don't know. Look at Home Depot and Lowe's right now. Usually when you go to Lowe's, it's people trying to fix stuff at their house. People just shopping. Oh, I should get these plants. I should get these products. Right now, all I see at Lowe's the past, and this is in Austin, Texas, is nothing but construction people. There's a few old people in there shopping, but mostly construction. How do you know? This is right before a recession. People ain't got no money, so they ain't eye shopping because they can't afford to eye shop. Okay? That's why everybody's so pressed about the taxes. Oh my God, my tax refund wasn't what? Oh my God, Donald Trump, what is he doing? The tax returns. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention, man. I'm giving y'all, I'm telling you, this Ultra FICO was just a way. Listen, I'm gonna be careful because I'm in several groups and I pay a lot of money every month to be in several Facebook groups that I already put out. Several of these people, reason they're going so crazy on mergers and shelf corporations is because the banks are asking for paperwork now. All these little 19 to 23-year-olds that be like, I got 50 credit cards. The banks are going, hey, send me some documents. Hey, send me your tax return. Hey, send me some information. Hey, we're just doing a validation. Can we see that information? Now, if they're doing that to these kids who've got these 750s, these 800s, because they're so young and they have really thin files, what are they going to do to y'all when you come in there next year saying, I want some credit cards, yeah, with my 690 and my old repossessions on my car? I'm just trying to get you to see they're going to ask for 3 to 6 months of bank statements. And listen, this may not be you. May not be talking to you, but there are several people who every month they bounce a check. Their credit card gets $29 overdraft fee. They get an overdraft fees every month. They're not paying any of their stuff on time. Listen, I know people right now who they do well right now, but there was a time where if it wasn't for their house, they'd be homeless, paying their mortgage late every single daggone month. It don't matter because it takes months, almost a year to get you out your house. There was one story about a lady, she hadn't paid her mortgage in 4 years. But between the companies selling it to each other and her sending a little bit of money here and there, the laws, she's sending some money here and there, but really not any full mortgage. You can't do that at apartments. You're not going to do that at apartments. Can you do it with your own house? For sure. Now, if you're smart and you're in a house and you can't pay your bills, you should be changing what? Your career. You should be doing what? Having investments. Again, listen to me. When you see these people in these houses, people say, well, Ericka, what if your tenant leaves in the recession? No, your tenant won't. If your tenant loses a job, what you're going to see at a lot of these rentals is new people parking up at the house. You're going to see 2, 3 extra cars parking at the house. Why? Because they done moved. Cousin Benny and them done moved in. Somebody else done moved in. They got extra guys living there. They renting out a room. They Airbnb to cover that rent. They're not going to be able to get out and afford somewhere else. They're not going to be able to get out and show bank statements. I have several friends who own rentals, and right now at all-time highs, they're getting fake pay stubs left and right. And they know them when they see them. The math don't be right. Just telling y'all. Did I purchase new trucks or used trucks? I purchased used trucks, 2013s. Goldman Sachs CEO was interviewed by Hilton CEO about general consistency at the recent Financial Leaders Summit. Said 2019 looks good, but there's a 50% chance of 2020. Listen, they're just trying to hold off for Donald Trump. But from what I'm seeing out here, nah. And you see me bring people on at a high velocity right now. I'm bringing on really qualified people to help you follow systems and steps. There's reasons for it. So I'll just put it to you this way. I'm not here to sell you courses. I literally can take a TV deal right now. And I'm not doing it to brag about the TV deal. I'm just saying it to say a lot of these TV stations, they're trying to get people off YouTube and Facebook and people with these high Instagram numbers because TV is like that. I mean, some TV shows get less than 50,000 views. You know, I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. So let me see. I got some other stuff I was going to show y'all. Let me see if I can do it. Now, remember we were talking about Dallas. I had Kendra on. Now, cap rates on apartments are garbage right now. They're ridiculous. Absolute garbage. I mean, like, I could show y'all this, and we've looked at this same apartment get sold multiple times because of this. Now, so why am I looking at duplexes? Why am I showing you duplexes? Duplexes are a way for people to live in the neighborhoods they really want to live in and have some covering. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to show y'all this one. Now, you say, no, Ericka, that's not too great. That's okay. But I want to show you the neighborhood it's in. Okay, you got that historic look. Okay. Okay. Look at the covering. Look at the floors. Look at what it looks like. Okay. Now you see one unit, it's got almost granite countertops. It's got stainless steel. But the other unit, now look at this. Look at it. Okay, now look at the other unit. I'm going to show y'all again the other unit. Let me see if I can go over. Okay, that's the downstairs, folks. Now look at the other unit. I'll go back. That's very nice. I like this. Very nice and back. All right, now let's go to the other unit. This is the other. Now look at the difference in the kitchen. Look at what kind of appliances they have in that one. Think about it. The appliances they have in this one, it says this is a rental. Now they live downstairs in the nice, shiny granite countertops. Right? But this is their rental. Now, why are they doing this? Okay? And it's very basic. It's empty. It's vacant. Now, why are they doing this? Because at $878,000, their mortgage is $3,000. Now, this type of neighborhood it's in, they're gonna charge about $2,000 plus. So now they're going to be paying what? Okay, they got $3,680 as their mortgage. The person above them is paying $2,500 for the neighborhood to be in a fancy neighborhood in Dallas. You know, Dallas folks be stunting. That means their mortgage for them, their part of it is just $1,200. Okay. Now let's go look at the neighborhood because I want to make it very clear why I'm picking this one. Now look how close Whole Foods is to them. Everybody see that? Put a 1 in the comments if you can see how close Whole Foods is to this house. Just put a 1 in the comments if you can see how close this house is to Whole Foods. Think about it. Got Lakeside Park. Yep, walking distance. Walking distance is right. Now, many people are scared to buy A type apartments because they think, well, in a crash, they're going to go down. No, they're not. Again, whatever, if a person's paying $2,500 to live above this woman in this duplex, there's a reason. They want to be in this neighborhood. They want to have their kids go to this school. They want to be, they're a newlywed couple. They're saving for the type of house that's going to do what? Put them in this same neighborhood. Look at these houses. Look at this one. Look at the one right beside them, though. I want you to see this one right beside them. Of course, the tree would be in the way. I'm trying to show you. Now look at that right beside them. Look at the neighborhood. Now you're going to say, Ericka, some of it ain't that great. This is Dallas. Trust me. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And trust, I've had people pay on credit cards. I know one person right now who their tenant paid with credit cards for 2 years. Now, are you supposed to legally take somebody's payments for 2 years? I'm just going to say, I'm going to act like I didn't know. Now, This area is close to Highland Park. That is one of the richest neighborhoods in DFW. Shit, I ain't paying that. I only get $2K a month for my VA. But that's just the point. It's not appealing to you, but it's appealing to someone who wants to do what? Live in this neighborhood, ride a bike, ride their scooter, go to Whole Foods. Maybe some engineer person who wants to work from home in the daytime. I mean, listen, this is one of the richest neighborhoods of DFW. If it's a single mom and her kid, guess what? She got nice alimony. She wants to stay in this neighborhood, but she can't afford to stay in this neighborhood. She divorced. They ain't got no money. Okay. Oh yeah, Jabras. I was all up in North Hills in Raleigh. Like, that's the only place I would even look at to live over there. Let's go down a little bit further down the street. I just wanted y'all to see this street. Very old buildings. You know, it's not a bunch of work trucks out here. It's a bunch of, look at this. Whenever you see houses like this, look at that. You know that costs money. Look how they remodeled that. That's a $2 million deal. Look at that. That's a duplex, but look at the type of duplex. On the same street. Look at that. Same street. Come on now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to show y'all the couple who owns that place, they get to say they still live in the richest side of part of Dallas. They get to walk to Whole Foods, and they got somebody paying half their rent. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you're not learning anything from all my videos, is you need to figure out a way to manage people. Teach your children how to manage people. Teach yourself how to manage people, how to manage things, how to manage rentals. The number one complaint you get out of people is, I just don't want rentals. I don't want tenants calling me. Why don't you get a property manager? Oh, because then I have to worry about the property manager getting 10%. Man, get the out of here, man. Come on. I mean, again, this is the same. This is where people want money with no responsibility. And there's nowhere in the world that works. Nowhere. Not even rich kids have that. Excuse me. Take a little sip here. Anyway, let me get out of here. Now, when you start seeing vacation places do marketing like this is also a sign we're about to go into recession. When they start basically paying for an article that's just basically an ad on somebody's website, that's all this is. This is a running ad, whether they say it is or not. Not no shade to them. They do a great job what they do. But long story short, when you have stuff like this, articles like this ain't even an article. This is a running ad for 7 luxury resorts. Why? Because they're going to be in that compromised position where, let's say you go to that resort once, and you give them their email. You're going to be on the email list like crazy. And this is Round Hill in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Some of these are smaller resorts. They only having so many people there anyway. And what happens during recession? A lot of people I know, they got emails left and right from these luxury places they visited one time, that they went on a discount. And guess what? The places were emailing, can we please get you back? 25% off your room, 30% off your room, 40% off your room. That's why when you see these recessions, you think, oh, how are people still traveling? They're traveling at a discount. So you have to make a decision. Am I going to put myself in a position to win in this recession? Am I going to get a job that pays more? Am I going to start investing in things? The coasting is over. Like, you can coast for sure, but you're going to coast at a poor level. Let's make that very clear. I've been through that neighborhood. Very nice. Oh, really, Delta Lucy? Exactly. You're so right. People want money with no work. Yeah. I mean, even the Instagram girls want money with no work. And my thing to them is, if you can, if they hire somebody to write their ads for them and write these articles, it doesn't cost much to have somebody work for you full-time and write articles. It really does not. And I'm not even joking. Like, when I talk about, like, if you see these, if you go on realtor.com and look at Dallas and put multifamily in the description, when I was showing this to Kendra the other day, these are some of these apartments are the same apartments over and over and over. Same apartments where somebody buys them, then they sell it for a little bit more, a little bit more. I would not touch some of these apartments. The cap rates are horrible. Look at this. This is a duplex for $800,000. It's crazy. Prices are crazy. Now, the thing of it is, again, I tell you about the duplexes. That's somebody trying to like live in a certain neighborhood and get that half off. Because all they have to do is manage who they move in. Do we have, by the end of the year before the recession hits, coasting at a poor level? Yeah, that's what they're doing. Listen, Henry, I'll say this like this. You'll see it everywhere, all over YouTube. I'm not going to say no particular channels where men are like, I've got me, my car, my dog, and a cheap apartment. Okay, you want me to be proud of that? That you're minimal? There's nothing wrong with minimalism. I'm a minimalist. You guys have seen different places I've lived in my houses. I mean, I basically am a minimalist. I don't buy a lot of excess junk to put in a place, put in a house to decorate. I'm big on plants, and that's basically it. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, when someone tells me it's just me, my car, my dog, and a really cheap apartment, and they ain't got no art on the wall, they don't have quality furniture, they ain't got no nice nothing in there, that's person coasting on poverty. Like, I'm doing better than the hooker on the street. Well, sure, you're doing better than her, but that's not where you should be comparing yourself to. That's nowhere where you should be comparing yourself to. Again, these people, you may complain, well, I don't want to live beside somebody. But are these people really struggling in one of the richest neighborhoods in Texas in a duplex? No, they're not. They're not. They're not struggling at all. These 800,000 duplexes, come on, they're not struggling. This isn't a struggle at all. Where's the other one we showed from yesterday with Kendra? Let me see if I can find it again. Let me go back. Is DeSoto, Texas a good place? I mean, it's a good place. I mean, it's like any other. It just has high Black home ownership and stuff like that. So people have been losing their mind. Do we have before the end of the year? So you want the real answer or you want a fake answer? The recession's already here. This is why I called it pre-recession. I mean, you already have places like California, certain places like New York. But again, I keep telling y'all, it's like this. So this is the other one me and Kendra were showing yesterday. It's a duplex. See, y'all are not really sharing but one little wall, really spacious. You know, they kind of modernized it, big windows, updated it. Now, who is this going to appeal to? This is going to appeal to some millennial couple who, you know, he maybe got a tech job, maybe he want to work from home, whatever. And guess what? Now they can look really functional, look really cool, and have a big backyard, but really not only pay half. You know what I'm saying? Look, let's do the math. Their mortgage is going to be $1,500. If they charge $1,200 on the other side, are they really paying anything? They might even charge a whole $1,500. They really probably will, because it's Texas. It's part of Dallas. This part of Dallas, they probably are charging a whole $1,500 to live there. So, Brandon Marshall already did a video talking about what I thought about it. It's just a way to appeal to people who are poor. But at the end of the day, even if he gives you $1,000, same thing that happens in military towns will happen all across the United States. And trust me, you don't want that. What's going to happen? Military towns, when the government gives them a check of $1,000, every rent in every location all over the whole state goes to $1,000 in that area closest to the military base. So people who live there who don't have jobs that are military giving them $1,000 check, they're complaining, oh, the rent's so high now. Yeah, because they're basing it off the military. So this is the same thing that will happen. If you give everybody $1,000, then even little tiny nowhere towns in Ohio, the people are going to go, oh, Billy Bob, I was renting you that for $350, but now I need $600 for the rent. I need $700. Man, they only give me $1,000 a month. You know, I don't work no job. That's not my problem. You gotta pay your rent. All that money they give you. The recession doesn't prevent you from continuing to build your network and acquire better skills. It doesn't. It doesn't stop you. Like, but what I keep trying to get y'all to see is when people fuss with me on the channel about, oh, I don't know where you're getting these interest rates and stuff for America. I'll sure enough answer. Here's one of them. In this book, Bob Bryce, reason I knew I was on track. It talks about Yale and Harvard. 96 to 97% of all the $1 billion endowment Yale and Harvard has is not in the stock market. It's in real estate. It's in investing in companies, equity, crowdfunding, all kind of stuff. That's why when I sit here and show y'all, oh, well, you should invest in this. I don't know about investing in that, Ericka. I'm not going to invest in that. I'm not going to buy any stocks. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit over here and put my money in a jar, Ericka. And when it crash happens, I'm going to take my money out the jar. I'm like, what kind of crackpot ideal do you have going on? This book even talks about angel investing. This is years before its time, y'all. You should drop this book. Now, when I knew I was ahead of my job, it was here. In the book on page 186, if you guys go get this from Amazon, I don't even care about making money off of it. I don't need the money. So, and alternative answer, this is how I knew I was ahead of the time. On page 186, it says sample menus. It was giving people a sample of ideals. Now, you had a beginner, starter. Now, I went to intermediate just to see where I was at. Intermediate, peer-to-peer lending, privately placed royalties, mezz debt, funds of hedge funds, global micro hedge funds, activist hedge funds, sponsored equity, gold ETFs, art funds. Now, next level, advanced, farmlands, hedge funds, angel investing, direct timber and art ownership, physical gold, infrastructure. Now, I'm not going to give the whole book away. Definitely go get this. Check it out for yourself. Now, what I want you to do, hold on. Got someone acting up for attention. Now you're gone. Okay. I'm going to have to get that book. Yeah. So the point of me telling you that book is when you're actually active in the field, when you're investing, when you're putting your money out in these apps and you're doing stuff, you're probably ahead of grandpa and grandma who were like, I'm going to take my $500,000 out of stocks and put it somewhere else. But you got to be actually educating yourself, getting ahead. Another book that was very popular, somebody was asking me about. These two are very popular. The book, How to Get Real Estate with No Money Down. People love doing this. First way to start is with me and Kendra Ron yesterday, getting that first property, using those grants, down payment assistance. Start there. House hack after that. This one, raising private capital. You don't raise private capital off a whim. You need to be in the market. You need to be investing. You need to have a wholesalers, people you talk to. People are not going to give you their money if you don't know what you're talking about and you're not certain. Let's make that very clear. All these people, I'm going to raise some capital. I'm going to have a private investors group. You don't got skills. You don't got money on the table. People are not giving their money to someone who has bad credit and don't have no investments in themselves. Another one, 12-week year. This is a workbook. This isn't an actual book. This is actually the workbook. But you should get this anyway. It's a good workbook. If you focus really hard for the next 90 days on just one thing, and the reason people don't really make massive changes, they won't focus. People are like, Ericka, you still working out with your trainer? Yeah, I'm signed up with that dude for a year. Change don't happen in 20 days. That's that crap y'all see on them TV channels. It takes like a year. But if you take each 90 days as like a year by itself, like every day you come home, you're going to do this one thing, you'll see change. Every day, every week, you put $25 away without fail into an investment, you're going to see change. Okay? Make sense? Got to keep the income in. I started investing in crowdfunding. Brandon Marsh, please listen. Let me make this very clear. No, I'm not. If you see me hold up a book, you can rewind the video. This isn't VHS tapes. Rewind the video. I don't have to give you this information. Again, 12-week year. 12-week year is a red book. Go on Google. I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to do it just because he asked. But seriously, this is internet. You can rewind this. You don't even have to need a piece of paper. Raising Capital, Bigger Pockets book. Matt is the name of the author. Brandon Turner's. Everybody make sure you write it down now. No Money Down, Brandon Turner's. All right. Alternative Answer, red book, Bob Rice. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to hold it. I've said these books 1,000 times on the channel. Next one. If You're Not First, You're Last, Grant Cardone. People who didn't market, people who didn't grow their company, people who didn't hire employees, they went away last recession. You're growing or you're dying. This is personal life and in your business. So if you're sitting here saying, well, I just want a little side business, that's fine. You can have a side business. But if you got 1 or 2 employees doing work for you while you're at your regular 9 to 5, And I'm not trying to go off on you, but I want you to understand this is the internet. You can watch this video again. You can fast forward through it until you see the books, me holding them up. All right. I wasn't doing that to rant on you, but for the record, they're not going to be in the description. Only things in the description are links where you can buy something, talk to a consult, or somebody. I don't even put links in this video. Now, doing something every day for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. Facts. 90 days of intention. I remember VHS. Yes. I love that hoodie. Do you sell them? They're actually not mine. I got gifted this one, but the company, I am affiliate for them, put thousands of dollars in their pocket. I can put those links below. I hit rewind, replay, repeat, any of those. Let me find the camera on my phone. Listen, with these cell phones nowadays, you literally could just push your finger up and it takes a screenshot. Health, weight, and real talk. People ask me all kind of questions, and people will literally, there are about 20 people who DM Kendra. Oh, where's the link for the thing? If 100 other people found Kendra's link that we put in the video multiple times and in the description and got it, you DM'd her for a link when you could have just went back and looked for the link in the description. This is why it's hard for me to bring anybody on the channel, because I tell them in advance, you're going to get a bunch of messages where people don't want to like look for the link or just rewind. Ericka, if possible, would you speak more on the credit conference? Where is it? Where does it cost to start a credit repair business? Q4, I have a course on credit repair. How to start a credit repair business. Credit repair, look up Credit Repair Conference Expo, Orlando, Florida. Look it up. No, Brandon Marsh, 20 other people are lazy. They can't. If you can't, let me make this very clear. If you cannot rewind a video or take notes or watch something, because some of these videos, I'm just dropping gem. You probably need to watch it twice. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to make it far in this recession. And my best recommendation for you is to get a house, pay your debts all the way off, and do the Dave Ramsey. Just pay everything off. Just live like no one else so you can live like no one else. And I'm not saying that to be a smart ass. I'm being really serious. The American school system has made it so you guys do not research, you do not study, you do not Google. I literally have people say, could you give me this? Could you Google? You have the Google on your phone. You know, like you'll Google 30,000 pictures of a hot chick, but you won't Google a book. Come on now, people. Come on now. I have a friend who literally, he knew this whole, all the movies this one actress had been in. And I started to laugh, but I'm like, that's how focused a person, a man or a woman, can get when they want to know something. He knew every movie this woman had been in. This woman's only like 24. I was like, are you for real? You know every movie? Yeah, I know every movie. And he started naming them off. I started laughing. People will specialize in bullshit every day. Neck deep in it. They'll specialize in it. But when it comes to stuff that's important, like we're about to go into recession and many Black people I know are not going to make it. Now, what do I mean not make it? I don't mean they're going to be homeless. I just mean they're never going to get ahead in their whole freaking life. And they're never going to get in a house. And they ain't never getting another, you name it. Because if we go to stagnation or we go to real like boring coasting economy for the next 10 years like Japan, the people who were big in Japan are big now. They were big 10 years ago. People who were tempting, like maybe, they went down. I see it. That's why when I'm saying, if you want to be in tech, you got a son or daughter who want to be in tech, go do it. You got somebody who knows their talent and they can do something else, go do it now. Go do it while they can't. Listen, Google all of a sudden is like, oh, you don't need a degree to get in the door. Who is that for? That ain't for you. That's for their friends and family who going to come in with a certification and a hookup. That's not for you. That's not for you. People out here on YouTube hour after hour talking about baby mama drama when if they went and worked and made more money and got a better attorney, they would not be dealing with 90% of the stuff they're talking about. The reason some of these people are so harsh on you in these divorces and alimony is they see you coasting and bullshitting. But people won't let me say that on the internet because now I'm being a bitch. When I know that's to be true. I know 3 men who are millionaires who've been married 3 different times. None of their wives give them shit. They know what's up. They know he'll take their ass to court. 2 of them, I know they took them women to court. No women are like, okay, whatever you say. Whatever you, okay, whatever, okay. All right, I'll do what you want. Because they have their fucking life together. They have their money together. They're not, oh, you know, I'm just an average black guy just trying to get along. Nah, they got their shit going. Just telling you. Those 3 dudes, they have ex-wives, multiple ones. Never have a problem. Yeah, you're going to bring the kids here on Thursday and they'll be back in 2 weeks. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's how I know it's real. I mean, it's just like one of these things where I'm like, I'm not living in the Twilight Zone. I know these are real people. So anyway. Should I buy a house this year or wait till 7? Jimmy Cave, every situation, every neighborhood is different. But I'll put it to you this way. It's real easy to get pre-approved for a loan right now. Will it be easy to be pre-approved in 2020 and 2021? No. If you think you're going to make more money, if you think you're going to have better tax returns, but see, this is what most people do. They try to deduct every damn thing. So now it looks like they only make a little bit of money. Like, I make a little bit of money. And then they say, well, I want to buy a $300,000 or $400,000 house. Well, I'm sorry, sir. You only make $30,000 a year according to all these deductions. Oh, no, I make more money than that. But you deducted everything on your tax return. Again, people want to play the game to get these little benefits and trinkets. I'm like, pay the cost to be the boss, baby. Pay it. You want to have a $500,000 house? Pay the boss. Pay it. Between Killeen and Dallas, ain't nothing going on in Killeen. Nothing going on in Killeen unless you work for the GS. And this is the trap unfortunately, a lot of black people. I'm going to go to Killeen because it's cheap. I can get some $500 rent. It's cheap. Ain't no jobs there unless you military or government position. What you going to go do there? Except for drive all the way to Austin for a job. Trust me. See it every day. There's literally a post. I go to a particular post office and the guy drives an hour a day because he lives that far deep in Killeen to work at the post office in Austin, Texas. I said, brother, there ain't no post office in Killeen. Yeah, but all the military people work there. Dang, brother, where else you gonna go? I'm gonna try, me and my wife gonna try to move to San Antonio because it's cheap there too. And I'm gonna try to get to a post office down there. Brother, you might as well just go ahead and get a tech job or a sales job. You might as well let this post office thing go. Nah, it's good benefits. You're driving an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon to work at the post office? Brother, yeah, they got good benefits, but they ain't that good. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all what I see. I'm telling y'all, if you don't see nothing of, you see what I'm doing on you see me on Instagram, I'm going to these conferences. I'm connecting with people. I'm partnering with people. And better come to Round Rock. That's right. What else? I'm not playing. It's not that I'm not playing. Here's the thing. When you see the landscape, like when you research and study companies like I do, and then I drive around town and I'm like, oh my God, I see it. I see what they're talking about. And you're like, so many people don't research and study for 2 hours a day like you do, like I do. I know they don't see it coming. And I hate, like when I saw the government shut down, I was sick to my stomach. There were so many people, I'm being careful here, driving fucking Cadillacs and Lexuses and dressed to kill and clothes, could not pay rent, had no money left over. Like no credit cards. They couldn't take money from their TSP retirement account because they were already taking loans out their TSP. They're having to GoFundMe accounts. They're having no credit card. They have nothing on their credit card. Like literally the 27 different fail safes you could have as an adult who's 30s, 40s, and 50s, they didn't have them. And that was a temporary shutdown. Imagine what happens in a recession. A lot of these people gonna move in with their kids. A lot of these people are gonna pay their mortgage for several months. They got to like rent rooms, Airbnb. They got to do all these different things when they could have made some changes before that. So when I come on the show and I have all this energy, it's because like I see it. I see the writing on the wall. And a lot of people out here on YouTube talking about bullshit all night. You know, you ask them, oh, you know, people don't want to start a business, Ericka. That's fine. You don't got to start a business, my brother. But the job you got that's paying 40K a year, that is not the business. That is going to go away. That gotta go away. I have one friend right now. He said he's the most masculine man in his job. Everybody else in there is either gay, a woman, don't, you know, whatever the company says, they'll do it. I said, yeah. And eventually they're gonna get rid of you because you super bossy. They don't have time for that. They're gonna just hire people who get along to get along, who really need that job. They're in a desperate position. I've seen it, and I know it's coming again. So let me see what y'all got in here. Interesting, Ray Alexander said, are you single and looking for a spouse? Because DeSoto has gone downhill a bit. Ratchets from poor areas and working class backs not adapting to middle class well. Lots of bougie envy. You know what? Thank you for sharing that. Because if you're from there, hey, I think that's awesome. CC Corner, if they just would read a book. Listen, Glendon went off about it, but I'm serious. I watched several YouTubers who literally, this one guy just quoted a whole book. I literally started laughing. I super chatted him because I was like, you just quoted a whole fucking book. And people don't read. So literally he just quoted a whole book like it was his ideal. And everybody was like, this is amazing. This is the best information ever. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. These people don't read. Nobody reads anymore. Literally, I know a 19-year-old who's literally got a ton of money because he just reads. He reads a lot. His mom works as a librarian. This kid's smart as heck. I'm just telling you. Listen, a lot of these people that are complaining at these jobs where they make $10 and $12 and $13 an hour, if they would just save $25 a week, they'd have a much different attitude. But they don't save any money. Listen, when I was at Lowe's had to force people to do the 1% match. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. People working at Lowe's 10, 12, 13 years of their life, they're having to force them to save money into the 401 account where they'll match you up to 6%. They're giving you free money. And people are like, nah, I want my whole check. You can't take $50 out of my check. I need every bit of my check. And you're like, but they'll give you $50 to match you. Now, give me my whole check. And then they can't figure out why they're 50 years old and behind. I'm on the phone, talked to over 230 different drivers on the phone. All these people 50 years old didn't make no plans. Oh, I want to be home every night and every weekend. Well, sir, you need to either own your own truck or drive local and get paid less. Oh, I don't really want to do that. I had women, I had men, I had all kinds of people I was talking to on the phone. I was absolutely shocked. I was even talking to oil guys who make a lot of money in oil, but guess what? If you don't save your money, when they got you working for 3 weeks and then they got 4 weeks off and then 3 weeks on, then 4 weeks off, you can't make it because you don't know how to save your money. A lot of these truckers, when I tell you, a lot of these truckers are either 22 to 26 or 50-ish. Because in between, go do something else. Yeah, they're making 8 and 10 grand a month, a lot of these guys. But guess what? That's because they own the trucks or they drive a ton. But they get burned out on it. They want to do something else. So put yourself in a position where you can do something else. You can get out of the truck if you want to do something else, but you got to put yourself in the position. Ray L, somebody got to flip burgers and pick up trash. Everybody's not going to run a business. Most people don't even want to go to work. Run a business, you never off. Ray L, that's a lie. Again, that's why you have employees. Again, Ray L, right there, what you just said shows me that's why these kids in this college scandal are going to be just fine. They're going to go on and own rental properties and own little small businesses where they never show up because they got a manager in there. Listen to me. I could buy an actual office manager to run the whole office of this hair salon I thought about buying for $45,000 a year. All she wanted was $45,000 a year to run the office. She had been running it for years for the previous person, and they had paid her $39,000, and all she wanted was $45,000. The owner was never there. People love trying to tell you what they think they know about business. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. You're talking about a little self-owned little business that you run. I'm not talking about those businesses. I'm talking about businesses with employees. So again, here, this is why Black people won't get ahead. This is why you will be behind in this recession. This is why you will see lots of homeless people. You're seeing tons of homeless white people everywhere. Texas, Colorado, California, whole places, whole towns. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see a lot more of it. You know why? Because nobody wants to do real work. I just want to have a better job. That's fine. But if you ain't talking about a tech job, a healthcare job, or something in finance that's real necessary and needed, accounting, because they'll be looking for fraud left and right in this recession. The IRS just hired 12,000 new accountants. So what did that do? That left a gap for other accountants to come in. If you're not in those fields, I don't know what you're talking about, because you will not get ahead. This is just the facts. I'm just giving you, this is not my feelings. This is not what I think about, not what I feel. This is the fucking numbers and facts. This is me knowing so many white people who are stupid as fuck, who have little small companies that they're never at. They literally hired a person. I literally know a white guy who's hired a black woman who loves being in control at his office. He pays her about $65,000 a year. She there all the time. And what he doing? Traveling. You see me comment on his Instagram all the time, because he was in fucking Peru not even that long ago. He ain't never there because he hired a person to be there all the time. He don't care about paying her $65,000. That lets him be free to do whatever he wants. You ever seen a UPS store? People own a UPS store. They only make about 80 grand off the UPS store once they pay employees. But guess what? What's 80 grand to somebody who ain't got to be there? Great. Again, this is people speaking who don't know what they're talking about, who are making an assumption or possibly ran their own small little business and it went under. But I can tell you right now, you see all these kids talking about getting $100,000 in credit cards. Why are they hitting that number? Why do they want to hit the $100,000 number? Because they know if they can pay somebody about $3 to $5K a month to run some kind of business, whether it's Shopify, Amazon, something for them, they can take that other money and go live and play with. But see, that's the difference in the mindset, that I can pay somebody. They can work for me. But if you don't think you're worthy of that, you can't figure, you wrap your mind around it, can't manage it, then, oh, it's crazy. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to work all the time. That's what you're doing already at a job. What are you talking about? So again, someone's always going to flip hamburgers, but let me make it very clear. If you walk into any restaurant in most major cities right now, all the staff is Hispanic. Where do you think little Jerome and Jaleesa and them are going to work? They ain't working there. If they can't speak Spanish and connect with the people on staff, they're not going to work there. You're not going to flip burgers. You're not going to build houses. I literally, where my house is being built right now, there's 5 different teams. Every team is all Hispanic men. Just working. 2 guys on a roof, Hispanic, talking to each other in Spanish. Throwing stuff, talking, working. You are not going to be there, Jerome. You are not going to be there. Billy Bob, they don't need you. If you don't speak Spanish and you can't be on the team, you're not going to be there. And this is where I get frustrated in doing these videos and trying to help, because it reaches some of y'all. I get lots of emails, really thankful, nice emails. For the people who sent me these birthday cards this past week, I thank all of y'all for sending them to the mailbox. That was super nice. I came in the office and they were there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But when I hear all this energy pushback, like we in a dialogue, we're not in a dialogue. I'm just telling you numbers. We're not in a dialogue. I'm telling you numbers and you're telling me opinions. So, I mean, we're not in a dialogue. Love you. Love the conversation y'all help me provide for this channel, but I just think it's funny. 36 likes, really, out of 180 people here and over 200 people coming in and out of the video. Again, the likes are free. The likes are for Skynet. Hit the like button. I'm paying off debt now to free up cash flow. Congratulations. Rural areas are good. Waxahachie, Mithalonia. If you don't have to drive into big cities, work remote. If you're self-employed, try to work close to where you live. Exactly. Isaiah, raw thoughts. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. I mean, I'm not trying to go off. This isn't me going off. This is just me telling you the numbers. And even in Texas, they studied Hispanic children for 20 years to see, oh, maybe all these Hispanic children will become doctors and nurses and lawyers, and they'll fill in all these gaps that the older white people are going to, leave. No, they didn't. They became business owners like their parents. They ran small little technical companies like their parents. Again, I told y'all part of the reason me selling part of the painting company was because all the children of the painters we had were becoming 18. Guess what those children can do? Now they can go get leads. They can legally be on an LLC because they were born here in the United States. They can legally help their parents get the bank accounts. They can legally help them run a business. So all these Hispanic children, they've been studying in Texas for 20 years. Guess what they do? They get 20 and now they own the houses. They run the small businesses. They get the business lines of credit because their parents have been running a business for 10, 20 years. Now it can be legal. Now it can get money. Now it can get business lines of credit. Now it can get loans, and now they can own up stuff. Again, y'all are not paying attention. You will be left behind. I'm not saying this as a joke. This is for real. When I started buying these trucks, people were like, well, you're going so fast, girl. Why you don't take your time? Old Jerome ass people. Let me tell you something, Jerome. These Indians from India are coming here. 15,000 in 2017, 15,000 in 2018. They're going to buy 2-3 trucks a piece. And you're going to look up and there will be no black truck guys. There will barely be white truck guys. There will be Indian truck guys and maybe Hispanic truck guys. And that's it. When I went to go buy those trucks at the dealership, I showed y'all the video on Instagram. The dealership was empty. They had to pull my other 2 trucks from other dealerships in their bulk because all 30 trucks on the lot were sold. To who? Hispanic people, Indian people, islanders, everybody but Americans. Okay. And so you sit here and you debate me and you be on YouTube talking about baby mama drama and dating women, and women need to be more feminine and women need to kiss your ass and talk to you with respect. But guess what you're not doing? Starting businesses, making money, doing anything worth of value, anything impactful. You're not doing anything of value. You don't even own your own homes. You don't even own your cars. And you want to complain about, oh, it's racism, America. Racism didn't stop you from reading a book. Racism didn't stop you from Googling good information. Racism isn't stopping you from making good decisions. Like, let's not act like we're just out here in the world. And as I walk, racism just pooped on my head, and I had poop on my head all my life. I just walked down the street with poop on my head. No, I bring on Terry. She's showing you how to do stocks. I looked at Terry's class. I got a little sneak peek of her class. She had white people all up in her class. Just sitting there like, okay, ready to learn. We here. We ready. I'm just telling y'all. I mean, listen, you can either get it or don't get it. I mean, don't get it or don't get it. I'm laughing because I know who gets it, and you've messaged me, and I thank you for your messages. I've got some really long emails saying, oh, don't rant, Ericka, just relax. I'm just telling you. These kids don't need college. This whole college fraud thing is a joke. They've been doing this for years. These kids literally had their faces fucking photoshopped on Teams. And they knew their parents did it. So nobody cared. They knew that this is old. This has been going on as long as it can go on and go on. This has been going on for a long time. You just didn't know. They just decided to show out a little bit and arrest a couple people. Just to flex. But this has been going on. This has been going on. Listen, I'll give you, even if any of you here play football in college, let me know. We'll talk about this. In sports, there are 4 or 5 major websites where you stand, they put you in a little jacket and a tie, and you hold your football, or you hold the basketball, or you hold whatever, lacrosse, and you put on a nice smile, and it's like an Indeed for athletes. Why? Because some of these old white dudes in these towns with nice big companies, they want to hire some of y'all because y'all some good boys who played sports at their alma mater. And they go on these websites and they pick you. And you know how I know? Because I served members who played sports and had their profiles on these websites. So they're not this, I'm just making this website up. No, this is a real deal. This is a real life website where people who play sports at very nice prestigious schools put on a suit and tie, and they take a picture and they smile and say, hey, my degree is in sociology. I'm willing to work in any job, sales or whatever. And people who are sponsors of this school hire those boys. Excuse me, those men. They're men by the time they graduate. So what you think happens? So when little Jerome is at school bullshitting and not studying and not really taking any of it serious, when it comes time to take his picture and be ready, nobody wants to give little Jerome a job. Because Jerome is serious. He would thought he was going to go to the NFL. But these other white kids, they know, hey, let me get on one of these sales companies. Let me get on one of these sponsors, one of these boosters companies. Yes, this is a giant water jug. You know why? Because I need all the water. I need all the water. Anyway, let me see what else I got going on here. People just want to start on the gram. Ericka, these people didn't change after 2007, 2008. I saw chicks having babies out of wedlock during the recession. I'll tell you what's different. If you look on Instagram and you look at some places, the Black marriage market has gone up. Now, this is why I can't wait. I just cannot wait for the fucking census, because Black people get married 32 to 35. That's our big numbers. White people get married 25, 27. And when they did the last recession, our Black people were so young. It made them look like, well, they're not getting married. What's going on? Then they do little snapshots. All the numbers you hear, several of the big people you hear on YouTube using are from 2000. They're not using 2010's numbers. They're using 2000's numbers. And I started listening, and I was like, I looked it up. I Googled and I researched, because I know how to research. And I was like, why is he quoting numbers from 2000? Oh, because it makes it look more dramatic for when he talks about Black women. Okay, I get it. When you actually research and you look up numbers, you know only 3 million Black babies were born last year. And all these abortion numbers you keep hearing, it's talking about New York and Florida. Everywhere else, Black babies are being born at 9% higher than the population all of a sudden. So all this abortion talk is really for New York and Florida Black people. Let's just make that very clear, okay? 2, I can't wait for the next sentence, because it's gonna blow your mind. As far as the numbers of people, the top 20% Black people are going about their business. Now, some people say, well, Ericka, some of these top 20% Black people are Nigerian and Ethiopian and this and that. But guess what? They are still considered, when they in America, what? Black. So, you know, whatever. But one thing that I think BGS talks about, he's right. Fastest growing people who are baby mamas are white women who are 39. Fastest group in America. Why? Because they can't find anybody to marry them. So they just have a damn baby anyway. Okay? That is true. I will agree with this. I saw a report that the average Black job Social Security will be gone in 15 years. You're talking about Andrew Yang. So Andrew Yang is talking about automation. But this isn't just, look at the Rust Belt. You guys, this is what I'm talking about. The whole Rust Belt area, the Pennsylvanias, the Ohios, the the Michigans, a lot of those people, the only reason they survived, I know so many people from Michigan who own property down here in Texas. They bought in the 80s when it was cheap. They bought different times. They bought all over the place. They made sure to buy something somewhere else because the jobs are going away in those areas a long time ago. It's just is what it is. This is what it is. That's why people go crazy about having their credit being nice, so they can get those credit cards. There's a video I've shown y'all several times on here on this channel where there's an old man. He has over $1 million in credit cards, and he just takes a book. He has them in there like a photo album. He's just flipping through the book, showing the people in the video. I showed y'all that video several times. Several times. Now, what does he do with that? Buy properties, buy stuff. Again. One trucker made $80K and quit to drive for Uber. Interesting. Really wish public education would place emphasis on money management. I will tell you why public education doesn't. It benefited the country. For people to go out and get stupid loans and stupid stuff. Like, let's be really honest. When people talk about crackheads, there's this meme, and it's terrible. It's like these new crackheads can't do anything. The old crackheads can fix stuff. Why? Because if you think about the 80s, some of those people coming out of those ages in certain schools and certain places, you still had home ec, you still had an auto shop, you still had mechanical classes, you still had all, these are very routine trainings that people did in high school. So yeah, the average guy coming out of high school could fix things, could make things work, could get a job anywhere. This is 60s, 70s, and 80s. So yeah, the crackheads could fix things because they were still kind of technical. These new age kids, they aren't offered home ed, they aren't offered anything of value in class. A lot of kids don't even know how to play instruments. Okay, so you know, this is a differentiator between middle class kids and poor kids. Now here, the middle class and upper middle class. Look at the level of sports travel. This is a prime example. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sports travel. Now, what is sports travel? It's where these people have traveling team sports where parents are paying like $30,000 a year for these kids to be in these traveling sports teams. hold on. Let me show you this. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. I found two. Perfect. Now this is, I'm gonna show y'all this. So why am I showing you this? Because people say, well, Ericka, it doesn't matter. No, it does. This is a prime example to show you who's really poor in America, who's really not. Let me make sure I show you this. Because I've talked about it before. Tutoring, if you can't afford your kid to take your kid to tutoring, you're poor. If you can't afford to take your kid to a lot of these things, you're poor. People are like, Ericka, you're being a bitch. No, I'm not. I'm telling you whether you're poor or not. Now, it's a prime example. How the elite took over youth sports too. Kids' athletics have become too competitive, professionalized, and expensive for just anyone to join. Now, what does that mean when they say expensive? Too expensive for you to join. All right? But it talks about all these summer leagues where they play baseball and football. And again, they make money off these. They're traveling sports teams. Let me see if I can pull up the thing in Rocky Mount. There's a stadium being built in Rocky Mount because of all the sports teams. Well, let me see if I can find it. This is not, I need another one. Kids sports became a $15 billion industry. How is that possible, y'all? Because little Becky, little Jenny, little whoever, guess what they were going to do? Their son couldn't make the public school where Jerome and all them and took it all over. They're going to put them in a different team. Hold on. Turn this off. Stop it. Hold on. Okay, that might work. All right. So, talking about this kid has a $15,000 backyard batting cage. He is a private coach charging $100 an hour for his sessions. Let me see. Relentless training is essential for a top player who suits up for nationally ranked teams based in Texas and California, 1,000 miles away from home. Again, I can literally go on and read this to y'all. But again, says Joey's budding baseball careers cost the family $30,000. A volleyball dad from upstate New York spent $20,000 in 1 year for his daughter's club team, including gas, up to 4 nights stay a week at hotels, 2.5-hour commute drive to practice, not getting home till 11:30 at night. Okay, let's go down here. A sponsor paid for the team's, listen to this, I love this. A family from Ottawa sent their 13-year-old to New Jersey for a year to increase his ice time. How was that possible? A sponsor paid $25,000 private tuition. 10 boys from the United States will travel all over the world and stay with host families. Okay, do you see this? Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? Look at these little boys' names. Xavier, okay, and Maline. Anyway, next one. Let's see. Let's go again. A range of private businesses are mining this deep, do anything. Come on, get out of here. Daggone ads. U.S. sports economy, which includes anything from travel to private coaching apps to organize leagues, live stream games. It's a $15 billion industry, according to Wintergreen Research. Now, why am I showing you this? Why am I telling you this? Because every time people say, well, my kid played football, my kid went to a pretty decent school. There's nothing wrong with public school. You heard, look at this boy back on the football. Look at this kid. Now, I'm not being an a-hole, but this kid is small. This kid is small for his size. He's 10, but his parents are spending thousands of dollars to make sure he can do what? Be considered the best, even though technically he's very short, even for 10 years old. Okay? Now, I'm just trying to show you this. So when you hear people say, now this is the IRS. The IRS don't got a lie. The IRS says, in general, the CEO for one of these organizations made $831,000 in compensation. Think about that. The USSSA, which is the United States Specialty Sports Association, created for little Timmy. Okay, it generated $13 million in revenue in 2015, and the CEO almost made $1 million. Why? Because they hold tournaments across the nation, and it ranks youth in basketball, baseball, and softball. The softball rankings begin with teams age 6 and under. There's one in Texas called the Texas Bombers, Alamo, Texas Drillers. Now, again, look, why am I showing you this? Why am I talking about this? Because when people sit here like, this college fraud, shame on this college fraud, I'm laughing my butt off because I realize you don't understand what's going on in front of you. I realized the reaction to this college fraud is showing you you have no clue what's going on around you. If you've ever been to a camp, there's even a meme. This guy jokes about it. If you ever been to any kind of Wall Street internships in the summer, you'll see nothing but dummies there. Why? Of course, it have some Harvard kids, some Ivy League kids, some Yale, but you'll have a bunch of people who parents paid for them to have an internship. So if you didn't know about any of this, if you didn't know about sports teams and private traveling sports teams where parents are spending $30, $40, $50,000 a year, the first thing comes to your mind is, well, Ericka, I don't have an extra $30, $40, $50,000 a year to pay for sports. I know you don't. I know you don't. And I'm not making fun of you. I just want you to realize that in that moment, you must realize you're left behind. Like your kid could be the best kid in football at your local high school, but there's about 1,000 other little Timmies and Jimmies out there who are just doing all this money, and guess what? They're going to get picked. So, that joke, well, you better play sports so you can get to go to school for college for free. That's old because it's not going to work anymore. It's just not. So anyway. I see the thumbs up on my screen to like the video. I'll like it later. I can't figure this out. Homeless people are often sent to Seattle for free benefits. Facts. Watch the CNBC special where it said in 2020 that 1 million, let me put this up here so I can read it better. Sorry. Oh, that 7 million jobs would be lost and mostly would affect women. Listen, I've talked about this, why this is important. Yes, women will be drastically affected. The reason I'm going to all these conferences is because every conference talks about how can our business save money in healthcare? How? What's the most expensive thing in healthcare at a company? People taking maternity leave. Why do you think the Republicans are now starting talking about national paid leave? Because they have so many white women who are single mothers and they need to keep their job. So they got to talk about national paid leave. Okay. All right. This is why I'm in real estate and you're right. Okay. Ray send you a message. I hit that like button. Hit that like button, y'all. Why would you buy a rental or residential home first? I got approved for a home loan for $190, but I have crazy fears of messing up. Janelle, you have to work on your mindset. This is just an opportunity. If you're letting fear take you over, it's gonna mess you up. You're my mentor. Thank you. Ericka, I keep telling blacks that there is too much inefficiency in business from blah, blah, blah. They win. Right. True. I'll drive her truck just to be able to talk to her. Hispanics have cornered the market in many manual labor jobs. This is very true. That's why when people tell me, oh, people don't want to go to business, I'm like, oh, you better get to learning the tech skill because they have no space for you. I told you that one of the saddest things I saw was I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there was a black father making his son fill out this application. And this kid's like 6'2" at Bojangles. And everybody in Bojangles was Hispanic except for the manager who was black. Where are they going to let him work? He ain't working there. They got every job in there covered. All Hispanic people. Sorry, no. Thank you, Isaiah Cho, for the $10 super chat. This is such good information. Thank you. I appreciate it. CC's Corner. True, not Jerome. Real talk, though. I appreciate the knowledge. Thank you. Ukrainian truck guys, Eastern Europeans as well. Exactly. Listen. These people come to America and they like, all you got to do is make some money and you can qualify to buy a house and buy other stuff. No problem. We'll drive for 2-3 years. Qualify for loans. They're going to drive these trucks. Listen to me. They're going to own these trucks. And listen, the guy who was in that video I showed y'all, if y'all go back and see that video, he owns like 9 trucks and he owns a whole truck stop. And he still drives here and there. He really don't drive. But think about that. He owns 9 trucks. One Sikh Indian man owned 9 trucks and a gas station. Think about that. One. And you got 30,000 of them in the industry. What happens when they all buy 2 trucks? Y'all don't drive no more. That's what happens. Unless you follow their rules. And I've had several of the people I've been on the phone with talking about doing this 1099 with. I've had Nigerians and other people rip me off. Middle Eastern people rip me off. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what happens when you don't drive, unfortunately. Sad when I think about all the, oh, dang it, it done jumped. It's like 200 people here tonight. What's up, y'all? Thank you for all the super chats. I'm getting to them. I just was so deep in the chat. I had to calm down. Racism, not just excuse. Yeah. They're in Canada and they're dominating all the trucks. Is that the hoteps have all the excuses for lack of action and poor execution. Man, these hoteps be out here doing mental gymnastics trying to explain why they live at their mama's house and they got 5 felonies and they got 5 baby mamas. And it's like, brother, stop. Just go get a job, brother. Get a job. I would love for you to start a business, but it sounds like you can't do that. Just get a job. Man, you at it tonight. Sad when you think all the black people with side businesses, they will never take and make legal businesses. Bing, 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 bing. Martin Jackson, you have the comment of the night because so many people message me, Ericka, I done had this business on the side for 3 years. Have you been filing taxes? No. Have you been putting in a separate business bank account? No. Well, guess what? When you open that bank account, it's like it started this year. Good luck. 2 more years, you can do more. But unless you have perfect credit right now, you're willing to PG. It's like you have a brand new business nobody knows about. Unless you're willing to go back and pay back taxes, which most people go, no, I want to do that. Okay, then. Big corporations are outsourcing as well. Ericka's Classy Climb. Please don't at me in the comments. It comes up as a big red mark. It's like red. Numbers don't lie. Hispanics have group economics down to a science. And I'm in South Carolina and they buy school buses so they can all work together. Listen, I'll put it to you this way. One of the drivers I have was like, yo, I got 3 Hispanic friends. Hook you up. What's up? Like, you want to buy some more trucks? I got some more friends who can drive. They look out for each other, bro. They look out. Henry M, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Wow, Ericka, you're telling the truth. Your message is so different from the rest of Black YouTube. I've never strived to be Black YouTube. I just try to be good YouTube. 90% of my clients are white. My credit repair, my consulting calls, like, and the comments. Read some of these people's names. These are not Black, all Black people names. Read these names. Some people here are white and Asian and Hispanic commenting. I'm just telling you. Just telling you. Everybody rocking a smartphone, but no one's Googling and educating themselves. Exactly, D-Book. Basketball and football happens all the time because we discussed the wrong topics. Ericka's still on point. Thank you so much. Entertainment. You keep saying this, Jim, so please title the next book Racism Didn't Stop You from Reading the book. At least the title of the next video will be real talk. It really didn't. This happens often with people paying $1 million for a building to secure their children's college, and these families want it to be cheap and break the laws. Exactly. So this is part of what I'm thinking, Lanny. I think the people who are in the scam and they're only paying $200,000, and really these legacy families are paying $1 million, $2 million starting scholarships. You think they were going to let these people come in cheap behind them? No. So that explains the headshots we see on ESPN. I just let that cat out of the bag. Hopefully this video won't get deleted off YouTube. But if you've been in sports or high-end sports, you know that's where that headshot comes from, and that's where the headshot goes. Been watching for an hour and you're dropping knowledge. Unfortunately, it will be passed over a lot of people's heads. Brent C, this is very true. Tell me how long I've been on, you guys. I don't want to be on all night. I'm just in here looking for a second part-time job to pay for tech courses. Pay for those courses any way you can. Seriously. Udemy, get on there, study, increase a little by little. It doesn't matter if their kids were idiots. See, we're going to college for these degrees. But I remember going to college for some people who were just there. So their dad felt good that their daughter would marry somebody who was smart. I kid you not. Like, I remember this girl dad saying, I hope she marries an engineer. And I was like, what? She wasn't there for the school. She was there to marry an engineer. Her dad had lots of money. These people want to manage who their children are around. So let's say you're Michelle Obama's daughter, Barack Obama's daughter. As long as you're in Harvard, you may be getting in trouble for doing stupid stuff, smoking weed, doing silly stuff. But you'll eventually marry one of these Harvard kids whose parents have money. That's the goal. Let's keep it a buck. And if you think some man's like, I don't care that's Barack Obama's daughter. Yes, they do. There's some kid who wants to be some kind of political kid, some kind of mayor. He wants to be some city council. He's going to marry Barack Obama's daughter and be like, I'm married to the ex-president's daughter. Trust me and believe me, that's what's going to happen. I bet money on it. Somebody come to me 10 years from now to see if Michelle Obama's daughters aren't married to men who are going to be running for office. Trust. Like I had a friend try to tell me, men don't care about women's money, Ericka. They don't ever care. Yeah, there's some low value men who don't care. Their wife could be a stripper and they will marry her, sure. But there's some people who have ambitions to go places and do things and have businesses. They're not marrying any kind of silly pot off the street. Come on, that's ridiculous. If your parent is a millionaire and you can't study and make straight A's and get scholarship, you need to question your life and why you're Kids, Wealth, and Consequences is a great book. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Michelle Obama, look at Barack Obama's two daughters. The one daughter parties hard. The other daughter, she got a job. She, was at a little thing, and she's got an internship, and it's two different types of children. So, be great. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Hello, Ericka. What are your thoughts on storage spaces? Is it a good investment to get in? It only requires low maintenance. Anything you can think of is going to be a good investment. See, what people don't really want to hear, what they don't want to hear is those storage units places, they have like one person working for $10 an hour. Sometimes two. They take turns. One person work weekend, one person work during the day, log people in, make sure they pay their storage fee, and that's it. It's a very simple franchise. It's very simple. See, the answer, the question you should be asking is, do I have credit? Do I have business lines of credit so that I don't have to personally be in that storage place where I can buy it and I can have somebody work for me, and then I can go out and figure out more places to get more money, to do more things. So I know New York is crazy. New York, what do I think about New York filing for bankruptcy? Yeah. When you have high taxes and you have 500,000 people leave, people in New York are like, oh, ain't nobody leaving, Ericka. You full of crap. We all here. What's up, New York, New York? Like, shut the fuck up. When you're talented people leave, when you're millionaires, when you work remotely from an office and you make 150,000 a year in New York City, and you realize you can work remotely and don't ever have to go in office, you're out of New York so fast it don't make no sense. You know, people I meet here in Texas, Austin, Texas, who work from home or work at WeWork in an office because their company gave them $8,000 to set up their home office like Dell does. And guess what they did? They took their $8,000 and took it over to WeWork and got an own little office, and they drive to work in Austin, but they work for a company in New York. This is happening all over. Y'all are just figuring it out. So what happens when you take that person who is making that good money out of New York system? They're still getting paid from New York. They just don't live there. And they don't pay taxes there. So guess what happens? Now they're a Texas resident. They spend money in Texas. They get gas in Texas. They buy their house in Texas. They spend money in Texas. Part of what I try to tell people is not that Texas is so amazingly great. Like, people who live in Texas long term, they haven't had a lot of income change. It's the people who move here who have income change, because we're coming with new eyes. We're looking at different opportunities, and we actually invest in the Texas because we sold all our stuff in our old state and came to this state to buy new stuff. So if you bring 1,000 people a day to Texas and they all have probably $20,000 in their pocket, at least, and stuff they sold or stuff they come in with a U-Haul, yeah, of course Texas looks great because people keep bringing money to it. Black Heights, the education system's already turned upside down. It's already turned upside down. Handyman, $20 super chat. Thank you, because you're fire. I woke up out of sleep to tinkle and your ass out here working and not at the club shaking that thing, practicing what you preach. 20%. Listen, there will be a season of ass shaking. There will be a season. Y'all see my post on Instagram. But you have to balance that shit. Right? You know, there has to be some balance. Some people spend every weekend at the club and then be calling me and paying for consults. Like, I can't get my shit together. How much money do you spend every weekend? They are easily spending $500 a weekend between friends. And well, all my friends go out all weekend and the dinners, and dinner on Friday night and dinner on Saturday night and brunching on Saturday with the girls and brunching on Sunday with the girls. And then I go to church and then I tithe. And like, trust me, you do that every weekend. You're specializing in it. Now, will y'all see me in Italy cutting up? Sure, at some point, but not right now. So, racism is an incentive to do it takes away. Oh, honey, yes. Do you know how if I could tell y'all the faces of people, Glendon probably tells you this all the time. When I go in the bank and I had $100,000 in cash sitting in the bank, and that these white girls, I look how I'm dressed, hoodie, this, yoga pants. I came in there And then white girls looked at that account. Oh, they got to it attention. Yes, Miss Williams. What do you need? Do you need a receipt, Miss Williams? What else do you need, Miss Williams? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to. Yeah, that's what I need. I need you to act like you got some sense when you talk to me. I don't care if I'm wearing yoga pants or not. You see that account. You see what that account do. Act like you know. Same thing when it comes to loans. Same thing when it comes to new banks. I go in new banks all the time in Texas. I want to speak to the vice president. Like, who are you? I'm Ericka Williams, and I'm here to get a $50,000 loan. That's who I am. Like, you guys just don't understand the like the watching a person's mind go as you talk to them. Even when I was in Atlanta and I was getting Uber rides from people in BMWs. Let me kid you not. When I was in Atlanta, every single black Uber driver I had a BMW. And I started talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm a 6-figure YouTuber. Yada yada. What? I'm like, here, you can come up and Google me. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Because what people are used to is people fronting. Would I ever drive Uber in a BMW 5 Series? No. But I'm proud of them for doing it. I'm just saying, where it led you to financial decisions that you're driving a BMW 5 Series for Uber every night? You couldn't afford it. Okay. Yep, people have been robbed their ambitions. 195 people watching, 114 likes, 2 dislikes. Come on, people. Thank you, Veteran Studios. Engineering Cannabis, $5 super chat. What do you think of the unique product of alcohol and infusion of cannabis creating jobs for regulations, trucking, and even sales? Let me read that again. What do you think of the unique product of alcohol and the infusion of cannabis creating jobs for regulations, trucking, and sales? Yeah, cannabis is going to be a cash crop, period, because the farmers are pushing it. Because of the medical benefits. Like, let's keep it a buck. There are so many things that probably could cure Americans that we aren't allowed to have because, FDA didn't regulate it. FDA didn't approve it. Or these are just ways to kick money down the can, and projects down into the future. But yeah, you'll see a lot more. Listen, I'm going to try to take someone with me. No, I'm not, because I forgot they won't let me in unless I get a media pass to the marijuana business conference. I'm gonna see if maybe Kendra or somebody else wants to come with me for it and kind of give their review as well in New Orleans, because I'm telling you, there's so many things surrounding it, light bulb companies, all kind of stuff. But the reason I'm always pressing you guys about starting businesses is because I see really dummies. I'm not even joking, y'all. I know dummies who literally have little FBA stores. They don't even run them. They pay people to run them because people will work for nothing. People work for $35,000 a year running a whole Amazon FBA store. If you tell them, hey, you can work at this warehouse I have in Round Rock. You can wear sweatpants to work as long as you run the machine and do everything here. I'll pay you $35,000. If you do really well, I'll give you 10 grand in bonuses. People do that all the time, y'all. Running whole warehouses for nothing, pennies on the dollar. Look up warehouse management. It's an actual career. It's an actual job. So, and you'll get kids right out of college too. Money is ruining people? No, it's not. It's just choices. Nice point on the crackheads. I wonder if my old high school still offers auto shop, electrical, music, band, home economics. Yeah, all this stuff. It depends on, like, a lot of these places in Kansas and the Midwest. Like, I have people who live in Austin who, like, they had a wood shop at their school. And I'm like, what? They had a whole wood shop. So they're so mediocre. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to be careful here, but if you're a millionaire and all you have to do is basically set your kid up for very basic life. Now, let me give you an example. I'm from military town, lots of military friends. We had a lot of friends who had Korean moms who knew the system. They married the American man. They got a little business at the flea market. And we had a friend who was dumb. He was a dumb Asian. I'm sorry. He was really dumb. Really dumb. He didn't want to go in the military. He didn't want to do anything. But he loved buying stuff on eBay and selling stuff on eBay. You know what his mom did? She got him a credit card in his name because she had American Express for years. So, of course, he turns up and gets a $50,000 American Express card and right out of college because she had him on as an AU since he was 16. And essentially, she got him a store. He still has this store in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And it's literally a storefront, very basic, very boring. Nobody really ever comes in it, but it's a huge back part where he just buys and ships things to eBay all the time. The front door is probably always locked too, because nobody will come in that store. It don't even look like it's open. but he's been making money for years since we left high school. And that's where you teach. That's the difference in being a middle-class person and a very wealthy person, where you know your son is not for school, but just what you're going to do. You're going to set him up with a little storefront. You're going to set him up with enough money to buy inventory and supplies and turn around and sell things. And all he's doing is managing a business. And when people try to fight me about starting businesses, I just laugh. Just laugh. Because there's dummies out there running businesses, and you could do it too. Oh, thank you, Britt Anderson. Cannabis is booming, $13 billion market forecast, many millionaires created. Yes. Yes, I went to Virginia Tech and now living in Charlotte, the real world, BA, yes. Did you know in Texas high schools where Kyle Murray used to play, they built $70 million football stadium, they can sit 60,000 people? Yep, that's very common here. Capitalism, gotta love it. In this America, embrace capitalism. Yeah, listen, don't hate the game and don't hate the player. Learn the rules, know how to play. And the reason so many people are like, oh, I hate capitalism, I want socialism, I'm open to communism, because they ain't never been no fucking where. And if you go anywhere outside this country, you will see black people on the bottom. All you get to be is a sex worker or a janitor. You don't get to be a doctor. You don't get to be in stores. You don't get to be on the TV, and you don't get to be on news, and you don't get to be in telenovelas. You don't get to be on anything. So whenever I hear black people talking about communism and they need reparations, I want to take my fist and push it in their face, because that tells me they ain't never been nowhere. They ain't never seen nothing. And they don't know when you leave America, you know, say what you will about America. If you make a little money, it's a great place. ATL becoming the next black tech hub. Oh, Google ATL tech hub. They just wrote a bunch of articles about ATL becoming Silicon Valley. And whenever they write articles like that, that means there's probably about 10 or 20 companies getting ready to move down there. Make money, then you can go save the manatees. Can't do it broke, though. Exactly. Oh, Jimmy Cave, listen. So I've been saying this for a while, but I don't think y'all been paying attention. The gender wars are over. The gender wars are over. Listen, go see BS War, go see some of these guys. They said it in their videos. The gender wars are, a lot of these women, this is how I know the gender wars have been over. Angry Man's writing a book about how to marry a woman if she got kids, as long as they're under 8 or they grown, and you put all the bills in your name and you own the house, and these are the rules you put in place for her. But what is that book about? Think about that. That book is just saying it's okay to marry. It's okay to have a wife. It's okay to marry a woman who's a single mom. That's how you know the gender wars are over. And he can come at me and say whatever he wants, but that's essentially what that book is. Gender wars have been over, because at the end of the day, it's economical. These women that you see going, rah, 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 girl, I'm doing it by myself. They are liars. They not. They still own these eHarmonies and these little apps. And the church I go to is a very wealthy church. When I start seeing these divorced women jumping up and marrying like the weirdest oddball guy they can find because he's an engineer, they're like, got him. Don't care. Don't care he's weird. Don't care he's got problems. He's an engineer. He makes $100,000 a year. I don't care. I mean, this is for real. Like people, and if you look at, that's why I can't wait for the census to come out, because you're gonna see all these younger black people, 23, like right out of college, they're getting married at a young rate, because they saw it didn't work. They saw that shit with their mama didn't work. It didn't work. 2 are better than 1. This is easier if we live together and then we get married, because you know, it's the cool thing, you know. Like there's a book I want to write, and I got to see if this guy's gonna help me ghostwrite it because I don't have the time. But essentially, the pendulum always swings back. You'll see a lot of these men out here married to people who are baby mamas, but they're very much an iron foot in their house. Everything's in their name. Cars in their name. She's very complacent and compliant. Like, okay, whatever you say, because it's about economics. And when this recession comes and a lot of these women are out of these particular jobs, like I'm not gonna say this woman's name because I don't want no smoke. I don't want her to cuss me out. She has a big audience. All of a sudden she's 40 and her children are grown and she's all talking about being feminine now. It's so be extra feminine, whisper and talk. She's doing all this because now she's in a position where she realizes, oh, she's 40 now. She's 42. She's gonna have to either get married while she looks this young to like an older black man or nobody. And this is why people crack me up. This is why people crack me up. I'll figure it out. And I've seen a lot of people, oh, I've never married a single mom, but let me tell you what, when I went on OSHA channel, I got 400 clients. I can't tell you the exact number out of the 400 clients because I don't want to get sued, but a lot of those men were marrying single mothers and needed their credit cleaned up so they could get married and buy a house. So all that talk you hear over there is just talk because I know the real numbers. You guys are full of shit, okay? I mean, it is what it is. AKW Beats. Damn, Eric. I'm Ericka. What is that? Could you drop and too much fire tonight? I hope everybody's taking notes because Skynet definitely taking this off. Keep on doing what you're doing. Yeah, Skynet. Some of my videos have disappeared and I didn't take them off. So I know what that is. So let me see what else y'all got in here. I'll wrap this up and get on out of here. So you can be the best basketball player in the inner city, but because some parents have money, their kid is going to a D1 scholarship over inner city kid. Boom. That's why I keep telling people that all this emphasis Black people have on sports and music is to nothing. Because if you look up now in Austin, there's so many little YouTube white kids and Hispanic kids who are, I'm not gonna lie, they ain't the greatest musician, but they have figured out how to have a membership site and sell their CDs and tour around the United States and Europe. And so they're making $100,000 for their music, and you're out there selling CDs at the frickin' mall. Like that little 12-year-old kid selling CDs at the mall should have never happened. He should have been at home on a computer, maybe selling stuff via Spotify and online. But he's 12 years old getting charged with a felony because he's selling CDs at a mall, and his parents weren't there. Again, this just tells y'all how behind we are. Thanks. I'm in the Atlanta market. It's getting rough to be able to afford anything. The real estate agents have built fear to renting condos. I need to switch up my team. Listen to me. If you live in Atlanta and you think it's expensive, I'm laughing because this is cheap. Now, is there some expensive parts? For sure. But if you, literally look up the woman, Paula Pants. I talk about this often. She literally moved to Atlanta. Let me see if I can put it up here. I know I'm getting out of here. I promise I'm not going to keep this show going. AffordAnything.com. I'm going to pull it up so y'all can see this. She came to Atlanta. Oh, goodness. Hold on. I messed it up. Okay, here it is. Let me share it. She came to Atlanta after traveling for 3 years and bought 9 properties and then hasn't really worked since unless stuff she wants to do. And people are like, oh, no. She literally took a credit card. One of the properties was like $20K. And when everybody else is buying up in some place and y'all sitting there talking about, it's expensive, I just can't afford anything here. People are coming to your city. They buy up some properties and they just own rentals. That's it. Let's go here. Let me see if I can get to her thing. Oh yeah, here it is. She's changed her website again. Interesting. All right, so this is, get that out of here. Freaking ads. Okay. Now let's go down to, she's not even blogging that much anymore because, when you start making so much money, you don't even care. All right, let's go down here. Let's go down to, sorry, everybody with your eyes. We're going, look, this is years now. Let's go back to, oh, there it is. 2011, when she started being, let me see. You are not entitled to retirement. Love this. You are not entitled to retirement. Again, this isn't 2011 when she talked about this. Retirement is no longer an entitlement. It's a luxury. You can enjoy freedom, but nobody's going to create it for you. Listen, this is people talking in 2001. All right. Like, let's go back. Let me see if I can find it. There's one of these articles talks about how she started all this. Oh, goodness. Let me see. Anyway, one of her things, let me start here. Let's go here. Okay. She was adopted. She's like the only child, whatever. Okay. Let's see. Where's she at? Okay, here you go. She talks about when she was making $21,000 as a newspaper reporter. She had a teeny tiny apartment, an old $400 car, and she wanted to travel. So what did she do? She saved money for a year and a half by doing extra side hustles This is before side hustles was even a thing. And this is 2008. In April 2008, she handed in her resignation and bought a one plane way ticket to Egypt, $25,000 in the bank. She spent the next 2 years. Why is this important? 2008 is what? The recession time. So she got back to the United States with 2010. Okay, there weren't no more newspaper reporters anymore. Now she didn't want to go to Google, so she did. She became a self-employed writer, wrote all these articles, and bought what? A triplex. Okay, and bought another 20 little cheap $1,000 house. Anyway, if you check out her stuff, she basically shows you how she house hacked, what Kendra Barnes talks about, house hacking, and the triplex, and then she bought more properties. And basically, like all the properties are in Atlanta. And guess what? She took off and moved to Las Vegas with her and her boyfriend. Okay. So again, people, while you're out here debating the merits of buying in Atlanta and the merits of investing in your city and town, people are out here just investing and living very well. So, it's up to y'all. Reason I love trading and investing because color doesn't matter. Only colors is green. That's right. SM, the white man did it. Let's see. Creating generational wealth is you. Yep. What's up? Man, listen. It ain't even 10 Mexicans anymore. It'd be like white people, like me and those three. Listen, y'all saw me in the video before where it was me and 3 girls. The girl who owned the house bought it for 280, sold it a year and a half later for 400,000. The other girl lived in a house, made 130,000 a year. She was a financial analyst. I was making 6 figures. We are sharing a huge giant house. And we all made 6 figures. And everybody left the house, bought a house. So, I mean, it's just all kind of people are house hacking. No, I didn't join any of that mess, Humphrey Johns. I'm just laughing because I just think it's funny because it's just over. Oh, am I name profiling again? I apologize. I'm so sorry, handyman. I know your name is Jose. I heard you can have a trucking company without driving over having a CDL. You talk about hotshot trucking? That's different. Yeah. I have read 3 books this weekend. They know me by name at the library. Yeah. You need a Jose in your life. You do. You always need a Jose in your life. Dang, I've been on an hour. Okay. Yeah, I've been on an hour and a half. It's time to get off. Andrew Yang is low-key fear mongering. His universal income deal is similar to Affordable Care Act, making federal laws based on one state's success and all the states. It's Alaska. Let's just be very clear. Only person that the Republicans were worried about was Andrew Yang. People will always vote for their self-interest. If people feel like the country's going to hell in a handbasket and they $1,000 can save them, they will vote for it. The only reason I went to college was for my parents. Wow. Enterprise, the thing of it is like everybody has their voice, but I feel like on YouTube, we're all focusing on way the wrong thing. We're focusing on entertaining stuff and not like, hey, what can you do this year, Ericka? I'm buying a house in Austin, Texas because Apple is coming here. Apple's building one of the biggest campuses ever here in Austin, Texas. They claim it's going to be 5,000 people get a job, but you guys aren't really counting the extra 3,000 people it will take to run that place. The staff, the groundskeepers, the everything. Now, if 5,000 people come here, and let's say a lot of those people, because they're older and they want to leave California anyway, bring their wife and kids, really you just tripled what's coming here, 15,000 people. And my friends who Apple, all they've done, every single one of them, is figure out how to sell their house in 2 years. Every single one of them. They already know they're getting a jackpot. They don't care if it gets expensive in San Francisco because they're buying their other second house right now in another neighborhood why it's cheap. Everybody's doing this. I literally have a friend buying 3 houses right across the street from Apple because he knows if he just sits on them for 2 years, he's going to make a ton of money. So, yeah. Anthony Bolton. Hell, I care about a woman's financial stability. Listen, I remember a guy and everybody was like, why didn't you stick with that girl? He broke up with this girl and nobody could understand why. He said she was $180,000 in credit card debt. And I was like, I don't care how hot you are. If I marry you, and then probably less than a year, you're going to get pregnant. that means you're not going back to work for 2, 3 years. And what does that mean? Your debt becomes our debt. So when these people try to tell me on YouTube, I don't care about a woman's debt and what she got, I don't care about none of that. She looked good in a dress. That's what I care about. And I'm like, and brother, I'll see you in 10 years when you're broke. Have a good life. You're crazy. Oh yeah, Janelle, you have money in your account when you come to the bank. They be like, and this is how you know people are doing bad in America. I remember I put $20,000 in a lump sum in the bank. This is a while ago. And the bank was calling me like, do you need any loan products? Do you need anything for your business? Like, it's only 20 grand. But so few people have like 3 to 4 grand in their bank at any time. Even these people making a lot of money. So they're like, as soon as they put their check in, they got stuff coming out. People use their banks like a launching pad. Like they put their money there and then mortgage comes out and other stuff comes out. I mean, I'm just telling you. How do you feel about mortgage lender as a come up, no degree, possibly make 80K? Listen, if you go, depends on what state you in, mortgage loan lender, because you have to work. No matter what it is, you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to make sales. You're gonna have to talk to people. I'll tell you right now, there's several people I know who are mortgage lenders, and they make a ton of bank, but they have employees that work for them. You got to put in the work, man. Lots of marketing, lots of SEO. See, I'll talk to people and I'll talk about SEO and buying ads. Oh, I ain't trying to do that. I'm not talking about buying YouTube ads. I'm not talking about buying Facebook ads. I'm talking about buying ads on Google so that you pop up when I Google whatever it is I want up in the first search. People don't think about that when they start businesses or start new careers. I started a handyman 7 years ago in the DMV. Now I have 11 handymen working for me. I pay them 35 an hour and bill them out at 80 an hour. Now I'm going to do the same with trucking. There you go. Never understood black appeal for socialism. Never. Let me tell you, the Tuskegee experiment, when you see what they've done, even to Dominicans in New York, they were giving them syphilis. You want fucking socialized medical health care? What? Have you seen Section 8 housing? Have you seen the lead numbers that come out of that public housing? Your kids mentally are destroyed almost living in those places. And you want the government to take over for real, for real? You crazy. You real crazy. You might as well just stop. You crazy. I worked 22 years as a nurse with the LPN license I got in free public high school. They ended that program a few years later, but there's still plenty of music and arts. There you go. Do you recommend paying off credit card debt or keep investing into my business? Depends on the business. The gender wars for entertainment. It really is. It really is. It's always about economics. Chris from St. Louis, you should buy the summit, Cringer's class on the summit. If you don't know exactly what you want to do, it has 6 different things in real estate based. Miss Ericka, you're heaven sent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The people running socialism aren't part of your village. Exactly. My friend married a single mom and they both out here getting it and doing well. That's right. Listen, and here's the thing. I think BGS Singapore said you never see an Asian man and a black woman. I actually know 4 couples right now who are an Asian man, either one's Indian and one's the other 3 are half Asian, from military towns married to black women. And they've actually said, black women get a bad rep for being really angry and really aggressive, but like our wives are super nice. And I have a friend who works for an engineering firm in near Alpharetta, but not near there. And there's 2 Asian guys there who met their black wives where at engineering school in school. So again, it's all about proximity. I mean, it's all about proximity, and it's all about if you're next to a lady and she's a single mom and she's nice and she has her head on her shoulders and she had know how to act, who cares? Marry her. Make sure the other parent acts like they got some damn sense. I mean, this is where people are starting to get stupid. She better be hot in that sundress. I don't care about nothing else. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Like there's a meme that says, "Don't let that $7 sundress make you pay $70,000 in child support." Man, I died laughing because it's true. People are like, all that matters is if they're hot. If they're not hot, I don't care. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? You don't care she's in debt? You don't care she's stupid? You don't carry any of this? Oh man, then you have a future of hell waiting for you. Good luck. Cool, Chris. I don't know your situation, man. I hate to give you blanket advice. Whatever you feel like it. Not all people are doing that. There still has to be attraction. Wealth builder, you can do that. And that's true. You can do that. Instead of foreigners coming. Yeah, I'm up late. I'm about to get on out of here. Cam Newton will win the Super Bowl next year. Listen, I really think if you really want to talk about football, Cleveland Browns, what they about to do? They done picked up everybody unless they just are stupid. Yep, something like basically the mall asked him to leave, and the mall's a private establishment. Can I talk about meeting John Hossel at he basically talked about what VCs are looking for. You need to research. Go watch my old video. Basically, you need to research before you reach out to companies. Some of y'all don't need VCs. Some of y'all just need better marketing. Also, there was a black guy with 17 stores talking about, he can't find mentors. People are holding back information. And John was like, no, that's bunk. Everybody I know that's doing well, that's a business owner, is very open. Like when all my business friends are like, why are you even doing YouTube? It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I do it because it's helping some people. Yes, I make a lot of money off YouTube. I'm not going to front you. I make a lot of money. But it's also like, it's just helping. Like there's so many people who show me stories of where like we worked together in a consult and they bought one rental property. And I went back and this man has 5 rental properties and his wife hasn't gone back to work. Like that's the pride and joy of his life. So the $3,000 they spent with me, they're like, that was worth it. Right. So there's so many different things, so there's so many reasons why I do it. But again, if you meet business people, they're usually very open. If you're doing something positive, if you're just like, feed me information, I'm a baby, help me. No, I'm not your parent. I'm not doing that. But when I see another dude who's hustling his face off, I'm like, how can I help you, dude? What do you need? Well, let me help you. A&P, airframe and power pack certificate. So you can work on planes. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Doug. You got to get the people out of here, these crazies out of here. If you live in the South and looking for a good trade, instrumentation, I'm sorry. Technician in refineries and chemical plant will get you $34 to $65 an hour. Thank you, Cal Phillips. Whenever y'all share good stuff, thank you. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry. So many. Exactly. Stereotypes it does kill. It is really tiring. I mean, how many times I've met people where I'd be like, oh, do you have kids? I said, no, I'm not married. And then the guy, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Because what they're assuming is, oh, you're a Black woman, you have kids. You have kids out of wedlock. Like, no, I don't. Why would you assume that? Oh, you went to college? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I went to college. Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Oh, you own your business? I mean, I remember one time I was on a plane and this guy about shit himself. I'm kidding you not. Like, really, he was just like so pressed. He's like, oh, I'm a manager at this company and I have 5 kids and we homeschool. And I'm like, yeah, I own a painting company and a YouTube channel. And I make, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I told him I made like $300,000 a year. And he was like, what do you do? He asked like 1,000 questions in first class for an hour plane ride. I was so pissed off. I want to be like, if you don't shut up, you're only asking this many because I'm a woman. That's hilarious. If I was a man, you'd be like, shut up. But anyway, stereotyping is exhausting. They still the Browns? Mistake by the lake. All right. She does have to be able to do other stuff. Okay, David Porter. I don't know where that's going, but I'm going to leave that alone. The Browns have a chance. Anyway, you guys, I got to go out of here. AP, you know why? Listen, if you actually look up a couple other people's channels, we actually all sound like it's from business, having a business. Kid you not, it's from having a business. But anyway, you guys, it's so late. I gotta go. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for all the super chats. You guys have an amazing night. See you later.